Well, well, well. What do we have here? We have a Statchat live stream. Unannounced, unprompted. It's just Josh here, and to be honest, I'm just sitting here watching the footy, and I thought, well, I may as well jump on the stream. Why not? We've got a double header tonight. A flying toilet is in the chat. Good to see you, mate. How are you? Double header tonight. We've got D's taking on the Pies at halftime of that game. Port Adelaide and the Suns has started not long ago. So, look, I'm just going to watch some footy, hang out here on YouTube, answer some questions, and chat with you guys because we've had a bit going on with the channel for the last couple of months, and you've seen a lot of other creators. You haven't seen too much of us in action, so there you go. There's the Spud. He says, cheers for the invite. We'll come round, mate. Come round if you want to jump on. BT at home tonight. I'm just sitting here just watching some footy, so audio only coming through your left ear. Well, that's unfortunate. If I can figure that out, I'll figure that out. I'm not sure how to figure that out, but we'll see what we can do. Don't know if there's any audio coming through of the game because I'm just watching it at the moment. I'm just sorting out my whole system as we go. So, Port Adelaide's not had the best season though, have they? Not had the best season, had to be said. But my Suns, I tell you what, if they can win one of these two, finals will be there. First time ever in finals. I did call it, but I have been calling it for 3 years though. So, what do we got here? Spud says he can't hear the game. Oliver, how you going, mate? Yeah, going good. Just watching a bit of footy. A couple of games on, which is always exciting. Last round, so look, a couple that are a little bit of a fizzer. It's got to be said, but I think Sunday's games are going to be pretty bloody good. Some absolute weapons on the trivia. Yeah, we've had some great contestants for the tournament this year. Really excited at the field, and massive thanks to everybody that's been able to get involved because we've had some big names part of the tournament. We're probably, I reckon 2/3 of the way through. 2/3 of the way through, and I think we've had some absolutely iconic matchups. It's got to be said. I mean, let us know in the chat what your favourite matchup has been so far. I think we said it at the time. Dylan Alexander and Bood. Gee whiz. It just had everything, didn't it? Spud saying a stopped clock still tells the correct time twice a day. Yeah, good on you. Good on you. Real low-scoring start here. Port Adelaide 8, Gold Coast 5 behinds. Please make BT the final boss for whoever wins. We've seen a few comments that are keen on the final boss, and yeah, we might just have to. We might just have to. I will say we haven't filmed any trivia for a little while because we've been, of course, just so invested in the tournament, getting those recordings going, getting the editing going. So there'll be some trivia from myself and from BT coming out in the next couple of weeks. And I tell you what, we're rusty. We're very rusty because we just haven't actually put ourselves to the test for probably at least a good couple of months. So. Got to keep the trophy at home, says the Spud. Yeah, well, yeah. BT doing the family thing tonight, so he's of course doing what he needs to do. Joshy, Suns with 3 rush behinds though. Yeah, okay, I've only just jumped in with 10 minutes in here, so and there's a goal right there. Suns getting on the board. Love to see it. Good to see a few regulars, a few long-time watchers in the chat here as well. There he is, Josh says, as I say that, they kicked a goal. Question, I think, for the chat, do we think the Suns are going to win a final this year? I mean, obviously, they've gone up that one notch. They've made the final, so got to give them the plaudits there. But Do we think that they've got a win in them? I certainly do, particularly if they get a home final. And I think I think they need to win both to get a home final guaranteed. It will definitely be guaranteed because I think they'll finish top 4 if they win both their remaining games. But I think just the one win, I can see live ladder on the screen now, has them 6th. So if they just win one of the two, it probably doesn't lock them in for a home final. Respect to BT, yeah, absolutely. A flying toilet, great consistency grows the channel, and production has improved a ton in the past year. Yeah, no, appreciate that, and it's been a focus for us. Is consistently, definitely. I think you can see from what we've done the past 18 months, it's been 2 videos a week every week, and we've tried to keep the standard as well to a pretty good level. So we appreciate the feedback, and we're certainly putting in a fair bit of work to make sure we can keep giving you guys new content, fresh. Obviously, it's a similar format, right? But new topics, some new games. So yeah, we put in a bit of work behind the scenes to try and keep it fresh. So a much appreciated comment there. Can Suns miss if they lose both games? Well, they can. They can miss because they're outside the 8 heading into this round. So if they lose both, they'll stay outside the 8. But hard to see that happening. Hawk Tim, g'day mate. Good to see you in the chat. A flying toilet says, always watch it as soon as it comes on my feed. No, appreciate it. And we see that too. We see the spike as soon as the videos drop. There's people that literally just flood to it as soon as it comes to it. So, it's awesome. It's great that we're growing a real nice community here at the channel. Certainly, both BT and myself appreciate that. Joshy, I've got the Suns knocking Collingwood out of the top 4 come Wednesday. I can see that. I can easily see that. Big slide from the Pies, though. Don't you reckon? I mean, the stat is they haven't beaten a top 8 team since they beat the Hawks in May, which is unreal when you think about it. How do you make the Canva the videos? We can't give you too much of the secret sauce, but obviously we do use Canva for a lot of our graphics, and there's probably a much easier way to do it, to be fair. But look, it works for us. I think the outputs are decent enough quality for the sort of operators that we are. So yeah, we'll take it. I think I'm looking at my audio stuff here. Is there something I can do? Because I did see the comment about the fact that it's only coming out of one ear. And I can see that. Oh, here we go. I reckon I've just sorted that. So if there's anyone in the chat that can now hear out of both ears, A, tell me, and B, you're welcome. Do you have any goals for the channel? Well, yeah, I think so. We are obviously trying to grow the subscriber base as much as we can. We're very close to 5,000 subs, which is a goal of ours to hit, and a goal that I think we probably had as a stretch goal at the start of the season, and we thought, geez, if we go really well, we could get there. And we're a chance. We're a chance of getting to 5,000 by the end of the season, which would be massive for us. Obviously, the Creator Classics and getting more creators involved has been a key goal for us, and we definitely think we've achieved that, and we're so really proud of that. And next year, we've got some plans. I don't know the logistics of how they're going to come off, but I don't mind talking about it on here because I feel like we're just a bunch of people having a chat tonight. What I would love to do, and I don't know if it'll ever happen, and we'd probably need some real good support from the community to make it happen, is I would love to do a live event. That's the first time I've said this publicly, but I would love nothing more than to do a Statchat live event for our viewer base and our subscriber base. And obviously there's logistics, is getting people there, there's venues, there's tickets, there's all sorts of stuff, right? But I would love to do something like that. And I think the community would love it too. It's just going to take a bit of work to make it happen. But if there is interest, that is something that I would be interested in doing. Lots of stuff I've missed in the chat here as well. People saying the audio is great, so appreciate that. Josh says, think they'll drop out in straight sets if that's for the Suns, I'm guessing. So, yeah, look, they could. Certainly making the finals has been the goal for the Suns, which they're going to do pending a win in the next two. I rate them. I rate the Suns. What happened to Howe? I saw a glimpse of this. Looked like he did an injury. Don't know how serious, but he's been subbed out. Oliver, there's a lot of people out there who love your content. Keep working at it. Yeah, no, appreciate it. Appreciate it, Oliver. Like I said, we've got a real solid community. Lots of people commenting on our videos, regularly commenting on our videos. So, no, it's fantastic to see. Hawk Tim, can I suggest something for a quiz? Of course you can. We get a lot of suggestions for quiz topics, and we have implemented some in the past. Definitely as we move into the off season and we start recording again, not for the classic, we will start to be introducing some of the viewer submitted quizzes, which I think will be exciting. We actually have one tonight that I might play a little bit later on, that a viewer has submitted for one of our different quiz games that we did a while back, but we haven't brought back, called Stat Categories. So I might give one of those a bit of a crack a bit later on. It might be something we can actually do together, to be honest, the way it's all set up. So almost at quarter time here. Looks like Ben King's got a shot on goal, and this would put the Suns in front. He's almost kicked 60 for the year, which is a big year. I did have him. Looks like he's slotted it. I did have 3 Suns as my bold prediction, making the All-Australian team, and I kind of am banking on Kingy getting there to give me a chance, to be honest. Anderson will get there. Collins, I think, is a good chance. And King, I think, to be honest, in the last month, I know he's kicked 60 goals now, but he's probably the 4th banana, because I reckon Thilthorpe is going to get in there because his season's been excellent. And I just think that Jack Gunston's last month, certainly as an older veteran, 30 plus, and some of the bags of goals he's kicked, I think he probably sneaks into a full pocket. And I don't think they're bringing 4 tools into the team this year. So, Hawk Tim says, name every team's full back for 2025. Don't mind it. Love giving the backs a bit of love. We did a quiz, I reckon, 12 months ago plus, and that was naming the All-Australian full-back every year since 1991. So that's a nice one if you want to go and check that out. Love the ones where you name the 22 names who played in grand finals, like you did Brisbane, Hawthorn, Geelong dynasties. We have got another one lined up with a special guest, someone who's featured in the Creator Classic Season 2. We're going to be getting on to do another Dynasty quiz. So that'll probably come out after the season, I think. Guesses in the chat if you want to have a crack at who you think it is. Who's your tip for the Brownlow Spud? I don't even know if Spud's still on the chat anymore. Gunston cracking 60 probably gets him in. I think so, Josh. If Gunston makes it, Bruce needs to. I don't think so, a flying toilet. Love Bruce, but I don't think he's had the year. But Gunston's year has been absolutely phenomenal. But they do go everywhere together. I know. Who's my favourite player ever? Is that directed towards me? Oh, look, I'm a big Josh Kennedy fan. I think for me, I need you to stop spamming the chat, Tim, if that's all right. For me, growing up, Where do we do that? I think growing up, as a kid, my favourite player was Scott Cummings for the Eagles. So obviously a massive West Coast fan. Scott Cummings was my favourite player starting out. Then Juddy, of course. Juddy was just something else. Growing up, getting to watch one of the best players play for your team and just an absolute icon of the game was something special. Then I reckon Luke Shuey. Luke Shuey was my favourite player for a long while there. And then Joshy Kennedy, of course, just an absolute champion for the Eagles. So, Andy Munro, good to see you in the chat. How did I get such a calming voice? I don't know, but it's a very nice thing to say as Aaliyah flips over the boundary line. He actually looks a bit ginger too. Yeah, don't know about the voice. I haven't said this publicly on the YouTube channel either, but do have a little bit of a radio background as well prior to getting into this. Not hugely, but did a little bit of time in community radio and loved it. So I think that it's probably helped, to be honest. It's definitely helped. But yeah, good bit of fun. My name is Scott. Well, I'll stop calling you a flying toilet then because it's a little bit convoluted, Scotty, but I love the fact that you're named after Scotty Cummings, an absolute jet. An absolute jet. Pritis and Lacroix, yeah, solid. Pritis just perennially underrated, and I think for me, I just got frustrated until he learned don't kick the football. And you could see sort of in the mid-2010s, Simo coached those Eagles to basically run past Pritis any time he took a mark. He was not allowed to kick the footy. And once they got that sorted, I tell you what, it was something special for Pritter. Did I end up going to either the 2015 or the 2018 grand finals? I did. So I've been very fortunate to go to a few grand finals in my time. Went, because obviously West Australian, so a bit of a journey to get over there. Went in 2012, so that was a big trip for us. We had a family trip over there with the Spud as well. In case people don't know, the Spud is my brother. So went to watch 2012. That was an unbelievable grand final with Sydney just getting over the line against the Hawks in a classic. Went to 2015, which I tell you what, it is something special to be there grand final week and your team is in it. And it was a last minute trip for me, so just a real buzz getting to Melbourne, getting to the city, knowing that your boys are going to be there. And I really thought we were a good chance that year too. So a bit disappointing, the result, of course. And then actually went in 2016 with BT and Tazza. So we got to an epic grand final, Dogs, Sydney, and again, Melbourne was just an absolute buzz that year, with the Doggies sort of coming out of nowhere, everybody getting behind them. So that was an amazing experience. 2018 didn't go. Long story short, I'd broken my leg and it just couldn't get over there. Couldn't do the flight, couldn't get up, couldn't get around Melbourne, couldn't get to the G and up the stairs, and it just couldn't go. So disappointing to not be there. I had family that went, but what a day, what a game, unbelievable. What else we got? McGovern was great too. Talking about radio, yeah. I would recommend it to anybody, to be honest. If you're interested in this game, if you're on YouTube, if you do anything like that, community radio, it's awesome experience. Predators could be Scotty West 2.0, but yeah, definitely had his limitations, a few more limitations than Scott West. 2012, yes. Well connected to see so many GFs. Yeah, I've been very fortunate. Andy. So, don't know about well connected, just lucky, I would say. Yep, definitely broke my leg in the wrong year. I don't know if there's ever a good time to break your leg, to be honest, Josh. I'm just going to swap over the games here because I'm just bouncing around between the two. So quarter time of the Port game. Have we come back? We're in the third quarter now. Collingwood, Melbourne. And let's see, what's the score here? Collingwood in front by 13, 46-33. Where were we when Geelong flogged Port by 20 goals on the big day? Not at the ground. I was watching. Wasn't that old, to be fair, but definitely remember it. Tazza definitely remembers it as well. He doesn't like me bringing it up. So we've got a few in the chat. What are our thoughts on the grand final this year? Who do we think's going to make it? I tipped the Cats in the pre-season, and I tell you what, it's looking bloody good. I've had a couple of good calls. We might have to self-indulge me a little bit and go back to the pre-season bold predictions that we did. I tipped the Cats for the flag. I tipped Jezza for the Coleman, which he's obviously going to make it. Tipped the Suns to make finals and for three of them to be in the All-Australian team. I don't think I'm going to get there on the All-Australian team. It'll be close, but I just don't. I don't think that they're going to pick Kingy, to be honest. I reckon he's the number 4. Jossie's watching the Port game. He's watching both at the same time. He's done well. I could probably do that on Kayo as well, couldn't I? I probably could do that. Yes. Where do I go to do that? Bear with me as I figure that out. More content, yes. But I want to split view it. There you go. There we go. Much better. Beautiful. Where are we here? What's Cameron's current goal count? Any chance of 100? I don't think so. He needed to kick a lot more goals against some of those lowly teams in the rounds, but yeah, I'll have a quick look. I don't think I can watch two at once, to be honest. I think my computer's lagging too much. Doesn't like it. So let's just watch the D's game at the moment. Oliver saying Brisbane and Geelong for the grand final. I mean, I can see it. I can definitely see it. Would be a good game of footy. I think my computer's overcooking a little bit here. Just got too many things going on at once. So bear with me. Where are we here? Sorry, I just had a bit of lag. I've got my screen going on. I've got the stream. I've got lots of things happening here, so might have to just not watch two at once is probably the takeaway message. Bird Pie joining in. Crockbait joining in. Geez, good to see you on the chat. We're going well. We're watching a couple of games of footy. We've got nothing planned. We're just here. I was watching footy and I thought, well, why don't I watch it and chat to you guys at the same time? May as well. And just happy to answer any questions you've got. It can be footy related. It can be video related, Creator Classic related. I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but I'm happy to talk about the tournament because it's been fantastic so far. Andy Munro, of course, a contestant in the tournament. We really thank you for being part of it. He says, did I have a local footy career? Andy, I've got a fantastic story about my local footy career. One which we shared the last time we had a stream where we were picking out, we did the Kahoot stream, qualified a couple of our viewers to be part of the tournament. Of course, Michael making his way into the tournament. He's been fantastic so far. But I think my best local footy story was when I tried to make a comeback in regional Western Australia. So I have mentioned it, I think, a couple of times in videos, but did spend a lot of time living away from Perth, metropolitan WA, living in regional Western Australia. And, of course, when you go to a country town one of the best ways to start meeting people and getting to know people in the community is through sport. So a couple of my work colleagues, which is why I'd moved down there, convinced me to go down to the local club. And I went down, started training. It took a while to get a transfer through because they had to transfer me from my junior club up in Perth because I hadn't played for 5+ years. So it took a good month for them to sort their shit out and transfer me from my junior club to the club that I was going to be playing at. So I was training, was going all right, trying to get my touch back. The fitness was going okay. And then there was a Friday night we had training, and I went down on Friday night, and they said, we've got the transfer sorted. You're good to play. So I come down and play Resi's on the weekend. Anyway, they said, just train tonight. You'll be fine. And then come down on Sunday and you can play. Fantastic. Anyway, 15 minutes into training, we're kicking around. It's a cold, wet night, and my foot got stuck in the ground, and my foot went one way and I went the other way, snapped a leg, and there we go, done and dusted. And that was my local footy career torn to pieces. And that's what stopped me from going to the 2018 grand final as well. So there you go. As Cozzy Pickett kicks an absolute ripping snag. How about that? Is he making All-Australian this year? He's definitely making the 40s, Cozzy Pickett. But can they find a spot for him on a half-forward flank or in a forward pocket? I don't know. I'd like to see him there. I would like to see him there. Where are we? Josh says getting a bit framey. Yeah, I think we're back on track. Let me know if the stream is performing a little bit better in terms of the quality. I think it couldn't handle me playing 2 games of footy at once, and that's fair enough. Loving Michael in this edition. Yes, Michael's been fantastic, hasn't he? I mean, he literally was the last person in our Kahoot live stream to qualify, and then he's gone through qualifiers, perfect game. Spoilers for anyone that hasn't already watched the Creator Classic, but I would imagine most of the people that are on this chat right now have watched it. If you haven't watched it, I'll drop the playlist somewhere in the chat, but go and watch the Creator Classic Season 2. But yeah, our man Michael is performing just beautifully and putting the community on his back and loving seeing the community getting around him. As Melbourne kicks another snag. Could they come back and absolutely do a number on the Pies here? Oh boy, wouldn't that be something? Where are we? Is it common for games to be played on a Sunday? In this league it was. So this was Great Southern Football League. Saturdays and Sundays, they'd sort of mixed it around. So changed it up each weekend. I think you see him there for his midfield rotations. Just talking about Cozzy Pickett in the All-Australian team. So Joshy Williams thinks he's going to get in. Andy says, I'd love to see Crows and Pies at Adelaide Oval. Yeah, so what do we need for that to happen? The Pies need to finish 4th, obviously, for you to get a qualifying final, Adelaide versus Collingwood. Would that be a repeat of the infamous elimination or semi-final? I can't remember what it was, but was it the Jack Anthony final right in front of me? Is that it? My knowledge might be not great here, but could we see a remake there, Andy? Josh says, I've been battling some health issues since the start of the Creator Classic, but I saw the most recent ep with Michael. I hope you're doing well, mate. Hope you are doing well and that you're bouncing back. But if you haven't watched it, go back and check it out. They're all there. They're all there waiting for you. I think you forgot to change from top messages to all messages. Yes, I did. Is there more that I'm missing here? Quite possibly. Quite possibly. There was a lot more messages that I haven't seen. Fair enough. I should see them all now. Mark Allen, g'day to you. Do you accept stats submissions to the channel or stats ideas? Absolutely we do, Mark. So we were saying earlier, we have compiled, we usually get a lot of comments on the videos of people saying, do this trivia or do this trivia. And obviously some aren't fantastic, but there's a lot of them that are very good. And we have banked them, and we will be churning them out in the off-season. So if you've got trivia ideas, definitely send them through, because we will be doing them. And it saves us from having to think them up. So yeah, definitely send them through. The one with a guy with long hair tagged Dacos all game, and Gawn fumbled at the end and Stephen May got into him. Last time Collingwood played Melbourne was the Big Freeze Day. Yep, that'd be right. They usually play on the Big Freeze. Bailey Fritsch is a handsome man. It's a very unique head of hair, is what I would say. And never a hair out of place. And it does, as an Eagles fan, it does remind me of an iconic player of the 2000s, Rowan Jones, one of the consummate role players, has to be said. Always doing his job, always did what he had to do for the team. But I tell you what, the man had one of the more impressive comb-overs you will ever see, and there was never a hair out of place. Crockbait, did either you or BT think that Naz would have been the first $2 million player? I thought it would be Harley, to be honest with you. Big deal for Naz. He has certainly had a fantastic season, and he's probably earned himself an extra probably a couple of $1 million this year just from how well he's played. Like, he might have been low ones. That would have been probably his going rate at the moment. But the way he's performed, the market he's demanded for himself, he's clearly a top 10, if not a top 5 player in the comp right now. And I don't think anyone would have been saying that at the start of the season. No one would have had him in the top 25, I think, at the start of the season. So he's been awesome. But I will say, I did think that it would be Harley that would be the first $2 million player. I still think that he will be getting paid $2 million. He's still on his rookie deal next year, but I think either the extension that he's going to sign with the Eagles, which I think I'm optimistic, that will be $2 million plus. And if he is asking for a trade, well, then they're going to be paying him the same as well, aren't they? So, Tyron Cannon, g'day to you. Love the video, guys. First time tuning into a stream. Even though I'm a Suns fan, I'd love to see Port get up for Ken. Good to have you on the call, mate. And it probably makes sense. It's the first time you've seen us with a stream because we don't do them very often. So good to have you here. And yeah, Kenny, last game obviously for Port Adelaide tonight. Where do we think he's going to be next year? Let us know in the chat. You'd have to think he's going to get a job somewhere, and I think it's going to be as a senior assistant coach. I don't think he's going back in as a senior coach next year. But I could definitely see him supporting a younger coach, whether that's whoever Melbourne decide to bring in, even Richmond, if they think Uze needs another senior body there. I could see him doing a role. I could definitely see Ken doing a role somewhere as a senior assistant coach. Where are we? The only thing I remember about Bailey Fritsch is his flops in the first gather round. Definitely hasn't been his best season for Bailey Fritsch, and I think there's a good chance he might be on the move at the end of the season too. There'll be a market for him. We'll see what happens as Port were the first teams in the AFL to lose to the Suns. Yes, they were. I do remember that. When you're getting Cameron Ling on a special Statchat edition, we would love to have Lingy on. Season 3, we've got bold ideas, we've got bold ambitions, but we would love to ramp it up and get someone like Lingy on. I tell you what, and I reckon he'd love it. I reckon Lingy would absolutely love to take part in something like this. And we say this in our videos as well, but the best way for us to start getting more and more guests out on the channel is for the community to start reaching out to them. Hit them up. Get in their DMs. Let them know. Because the more people that are talking about us and what we do, the more we grow the community, the more people know about what we do, because we love it. We enjoy putting out the trivia content. And if you guys are enjoying it, well, spread the love. Share the word. Nasgat about $800,000 a year. I agree. Massive payday. Speaking of Fritsch, he just roosted one from outside 50, and he did. And what has happened here? I've been too busy gas bagging. I think Melbourne have kicked the last 4, and they're in front. This is diabolical from the Pies. Let's look at this replay here. They've just got no one back. Just cutting them up. Wow. Did anyone tip this? Would have been a hell of a smoky tip. I've basically given up on the tips for the year. I think the Spud's going to win our family competition, but I'll tell you what, this could be a boil over. Scotty says, I was at a wedding in 2011 with my family. I checked my iPhone and told my dad Port just lost to the Gold Coast. He told me I was bullshitting him. Sounds like a likely story. So the live ladder, Pies outside the 4. And so if the Suns could go above them, the Giants could go down to as low as 8th, I believe. Sheesh. That would be a fall from grace. They were top of the ladder, 2 months ago? I remember watching something this week, and it was Craig McRae saying, we've got to 14 wins, so we've made the finals now, so that's our first goal achieved. And I reckon they've probably won 1 game since. Unbelievable. Suns 5 points ahead of Port Adelaide as well, so a couple of tight games. This is good. This is very good. I would have tipped Melbourne if I was in the tips and behind. Definitely a smoky tip. Yeah, I agree. Look at Cozzy. Oh, Billy Frampton. That's a great mark, getting back. And he's got 50 as well. What a name, Billy Frampton, hey? There's something about multi-club players. There's something about 3-4 club operators where they just... I know it's happening more and more. I think the 4-club player is what the 3-club player used to be about 10 years ago. But just multi-club players are fascinating to me. Absolutely fascinating. Like Joel Hamling in the comp at the moment, just a real rogue operator. Jacob Townsend comes up on Statchat more often than you would think and is a genuine 4-club player. With the Saints keeping Naz for the next 2 years and signing TDK, do you think the Saints could make finals next year? It's a great question, Crockbait. I'm not big on the Saints and the Saints list. And if BT was here, he'd double down on this because he really is not a fan of the Saints and where they're at. I think the signings are good, but the issue the Saints are going to have is they're going to lose some guys because they're bringing in the top end of talent that they're bringing in at the moment. Do they make finals next year? I don't think they will. And the reason I say that is look at the ladder at the moment. You have got a 9 teams at the top that are just so far and away better than the bottom 9. It's going to take a fair bit to bridge that gap. On top of that, you've still got the Swans that aren't there. You've got Carlton that aren't there. And I think their lists are better than the Saints, holistically. So I'm just not there on the Saints. I love that they're bringing in top-end talent because that is clearly what they have lacked for a good 10 years. So awesome to see them doing it. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm happy for Saints fans in the chat to call me out on that, but that's just my thoughts. Membry is a 3-club player. Yes, he is. I want some rogue names in the chat. Let me know your favourite 3-club player. Matt Spanger. Great name there from Tyrone Cannon. You got to find a quiz with Satanta O'Halbin mention. Yes, we do. It's a good shout from you, Austin. I like that. Tyrone Cannon saying, I wouldn't be surprised if Ken joins North. That's an interesting one because they've already got Clarko there. Do they need another senior? Do they need another senior guy? Where is North at? Really? Where is North at the moment? I know that it's big of me to say as an Eagles fan because I know we're absolutely diabolical, but I mean, I'm sure they're optimistic that next year's going to be a better year, but is it? Where's the list at? I watch a lot of NBL, and player movement is so much more. Yeah, agreed. I think we're starting to get that way, though. Like, I think you could see Adam Treloar joining a fourth club next year. There's a lot more movement now in the AFL. Will Brodie is another one that will probably become a 3-club player next year. Quick video idea. How just got subbed out again? Maybe players who have been subbed out the most all time or in one season. It's a great topic. It's very niche. We did a video in the pre-season this year. Great mark from Isaac Quainer right there. And it was the most subbed on player for every team in 2024. So not exactly what you're saying, but we did do a substitute-related quiz. And surprise, surprise, BT, he's just an absolute wizard. I still don't know how he does it, but he did very well. So if you haven't seen that one, go and check out the channel. If for those that are watching right now and you don't know, we do have a playlist on our channel. It's just called AFL Trivia, and it has literally every trivia video that we've ever put out. And I think we'd be close to about 150, 160 different videos. So if you're ever wanting to go through the back catalogue and see the stuff that we've done, go and find the playlist because they're all there, every single one of them, and all the new stuff goes on there as well. So doesn't matter when you start watching Statchat, all the content's there for you. Why say 3 when you go 4 in 4 states? Tom Hickey, that's a great name as well. It did cross my mind when we were talking about 4-club players. Tom Hickey, a great one. Jonathan Giles, another great one as well. Didn't play for Power, but obviously Giants, Essendon, West Coast. The rucks are the ones that get there. I think as a ruckman, if you're getting drafted in the AFL, you're getting drafted knowing that you are genuinely going to play for probably 2 or 3 clubs. Because most ruckmen will just move around, and it's just accepted that it's just something that happens. Super subs quiz, but it would be very hard. Yeah, subs is tough. Subs is a tough one. Do you play Gridley? Who is your favourite player to use? Andy Munro, that is a fantastic question. I haven't played Gridley for a while, and to be honest, I'll probably get it up now, and we'll probably play a game of Gridley together. I love using a guy like Scotty Cummings because he crosses so many different teams. If I'm looking for a rogue name from the Eagles, because you always have a rogue name for your own team that you love to throw out there. Jeremy Hum usually gets a run for me for the Eagles, as does Daniel McConnell. Yeah, there's a couple of rogue ones there. But yeah, we'll probably play a game of Gridley. We used to be massive on Footy Grid, which was I'm not going to say the opponent, but it effectively was the same as Gridley. And the reason that we were so big on Footy Grid is we used to use it. I think I can reveal this now because the Footy Grid site has shut down. But we used to use the Footy Grid website to do our Family Feud quiz videos. So the way that the Footy Grid website worked is you could enter multiple guesses. And so we literally would go onto Footy Grid, go to a square, and we would figure out what the percentages were for the most popular answers for that square. That's how we did Family Feud, which sounds very time-consuming, and it was. But that's how we come up with that. So we were more Footy Grid than we were Gridley, but do love the Gridley game. I reckon it's 3/4 time now. I reckon when it's halftime of both, I might actually get it up and we'll do some Gridley. Why not? What else have we got here? Since when do Melbourne kick straight? Yes, when it doesn't matter. We're going to get in an All-Australian prediction video from you and BT after the regular season wrap-ups. Look, maybe, Scotty. We are very tight for time at the moment just with the way the Crowded Classic is going. But we'll see. We'll definitely do a wrap-up looking back at our season predictions and our mid-season All-Australian stuff. That might come after the season's done. But we'll see how we go. Tig Ball, hello. Good to see you, mate. Regular viewer, regular commenter. Dale Kickett was 5. Dale Kickett was a 5-club player. Love that. Jesse Club, multi-club player. Darren Gasper is my footy gridly king. Yes, that's good. Need to take some footy quizzes on Jet Punk. But similarly, that's time-consuming too. Yes. Someone did send me Jet Punk the other day. I didn't know it existed. If anyone's got any... if anyone has any quizzes on Sporkle or anything like that they want to do or they want me to do tonight, send them through. Hit us up on Instagram. We'll go and check them out and we'll do them on the stream because we can do that. Let's have a look, see if it's half-time of the other game. It almost is. When it is half-time of the other game, I reckon we do some Gridley. Which it's almost half-time, I think. It's close. Six minutes to go. Where are we? The Classics have been fun so far. Michaels knows his ball. He is a genuine ball knower. He is a genuine footy brain. So glad that he's part of the Classic, to be honest. He's just a good guy. Cyric, I'm a bit distracted by Boki's farewell game, but good to see you streaming. Yeah, good to see you, Cyric. Thanks for jumping on. Another regular viewer of the channel. And I'm just opening up Gridley for the first time here. And I see it is a Travis Boak themed Gridley. How good is that? So I reckon we'll get on that. Hoping BT's waiting as the ultimate final boss for the Crowded Classic to make sure everyone stays humble. We've seen the comments. We have seen the comments. People requesting BT, wanting to see him take on the winner. We just might have to do it. We just might have to do it. I reckon there'd be an audience for that. It's a good day when the phone pops up to another Statchat video. Thanks, Tig. We appreciate it. We see you, mate. You are hot on the comments as soon as the videos come out. So we appreciate you loving it. He's good, but he's no Spud. He is no Spud. Spud was in the chat a bit earlier on. He was a bit dirty, I think, because I think he would have liked an invite. He's still welcome to come across and watch the footy with me. But we would love to get the Spud back on the channel soon. We have got a couple of our regulars coming back. Spud, maybe with a packet of chips in hand. Got to keep the man fed. Also looking at Tazza coming back as well, doing a bit of a cameo for some more trivia. So we are looking to get back the regulars as we do make our way through the Crowded Classic. Also, never mentioned it on the comments, but Michael's Crowded Classic portrait is as elite as his quizzing. I think the Spud actually commented and says it had a bit of a paint me like one of your French girls vibes about it. But look, that is the photo that Michael sent, and we've used it. It's a ripper. Sooner or later, I'll be able to help you guys with some alerts. Will you want some help in setting some of these things up? Yeah, maybe, Crockbait. I mean, we don't stream often, so it's probably not essential for us, to be honest. So we'll see how we go. But yeah, this is sort of a bit of a one-off. We will be doing another stream, I will say. We will be doing another stream when we hit 5,000 subscribers, which is not far away. I think we are about 4.5, maybe 4.6 at the moment. Oh, I think we're back. Yeah, I think we're back. We had some sort of internet glitch there. I don't know what happened, but yep, we're still here. Let me know if you can see us. It looks like it's back on. Yeah, we're back. I don't know what happened. I genuinely don't know what happened. Hacked for the stats. Clayton Hawkins, good to see you, mate. I've seen you in the comments. You've been on an absolute terror, just smashing the back catalogue of late. So we love to see that. All good now. He says, oh no, gone again. What's happened? Might have just been Tigball. Marissa, new name there. Good to see you. Good to see you in the chat. Melbourne looking clean at the moment. Yeah, they are. They really are. I need to figure out which game I want to watch. This is the problem with the double header. What am I watching? Clayton says, watching a dozen a week. Now, those are good numbers. Those are very good numbers. I have to say, I do love it when someone finds the channel for the first time and you can clearly tell that they just love the content. And Clayton, you're a perfect example of that. You're in the comments and I can see you working your way back through it, and you're the type of people that we love making the content for, because you just get into it and we can tell that you love it. So Josh is saying he wants Collingwood to lose. I think most people do as well. Yeah, no, we appreciate it, Crocbait. We're working our way through it. I think there was just an internet drop there, to be honest. I don't know what happened, but we were talking about AFL fantasy, and as I said, in 2 draft comps, 2 grand finals this weekend. So big weekend of footy watching for me. We're going down. We're going to be watching the last 2 games live all together, all the contestants from the comp that we're in. So it will be a very interesting, tense watch for me, the end of that one. Tig Ball's been binging the content. Great to see that, mate. Great to see that from you. Austin, back to footy tomorrow. Only 2 weeks for a dislocated thumb. You feeling all right, mate? But you say the fitness has plummeted, but you say you can still run. What's wrong with your legs? You've just got a dislocated thumb, mate. Come on. Get you down in a forward pocket and go for a run. You'll be all right. This is a genuine boil over this. So Collingwood now down to 6th on the live ladder. A Giants win will bump them down to 7th. And then I think a Freo win will bump them to 8th. Unbelievable. Crocbait, I recently became a restricted MCC member. Wow. How long were you on the waiting list for? Because I know that it can be like 20 years on the waiting list. So that's awesome, mate. Glad to hear it. Austin, yeah, mate, any excuse not to run. But to be fair, I went for a run early in the week. I haven't been running a lot lately, so I said, I've got to get out here. So I went for a run with a mate, and he said, we're doing 10Ks. I said, okay, all right. And it was not a quick 10Ks. But I'm the type of guy that you've got the Garmin, you've got the watch, and you've got to finish bang on the number, right? So if I'm running 10, I'm running 10. I get to 9.8, and I've rolled my ankle in a pothole, and I've gone, oh no. I think I'm good. It was a couple of days ago, and it's all right now. But I pulled up at 9.8, and I was bloody disappointed in myself too. You do not walk with your thumbs. Everybody getting into Austin here. The man is being shamed into going for a jog. I'm not saying you should go for a jog right now, but I'd respect it if you did. Clayton saying he loves it. Tasmanian West Coast Eagles supporter. How good is that? You love to see it. Question without notice for you, Clayton. Are you going to swap teams if and when Tassie ever gets in the comp when they sort out this shambles of a stadium issue? That's the question. Lockie Schultz, 11. I've got him on the bench in my draft team for this exact reason. I just wanted to see how he performed. And I don't think want to see what he's scored. It doesn't look high. If he's had 11 touches and 1 goal, 3, that would see him on how many points? I know this is making great content, by the way, me looking at my AFL fantasy scores. But if someone can tell me how many points Lockie Schultz is on, I won't have to do that. If Melbourne kick another 15 goals or so, then Collingwood could miss the 8. Never say never. That's the type of analysis we want to see. Collingwood tanking in the Eagles W have already more wins than the Eagles men's. Yes. The women's team's looking good. Daisy's got them absolutely humming this year. You love to see it. Tig ball, it's such a tight comp. Yes, it is. It's a genuinely tough comp this year. Not the pothole again. Not a broken leg, by the way. Not a broken leg this time. Just a rolled ankle. That's all we've got. Crockbait, more than 20 years, but 5 or 6 as a provisional member. And I don't want to probe into the finances of it, but am I correct in saying that there is an annual fee and a pretty decent, hefty annual fee just to be on the waiting list? It's a big commitment, but you've got to be stoked that you've got there. Josh, I did my first one back this morning. I'm assuming running. Running intervals at 4:30. Good on you. I was nowhere near waking up at 4:30 this morning, so impressed to see that you're getting back on it. I reckon if the Statchat community chuck together a bit of loose change, we should fund a Tassie stadium. But it's got to have a roof. You know how it is. Why did the AFL force them into that contract? There's 2 quality stadiums there. There is. There is. The Tassie people don't need to have a big, massive, shiny stadium. They love their footy as it is. Lockie Schultz was 60 fantasy points at the moment. I reckon I need to get that over 75 for me to consider putting him on the field. Oh, I'll put this to the chat. Paul Curtis is the other guy that I'd probably be looking to start, but it depends on how well Lockie Schultz goes at the moment. So what's the line here? I've got 75 as my line, and if he's over that, then I won't start Paul Curtis. But if he's under that, then do we roll the dice on Paul Curtis, who had a big game last week? Oh, looks like there was a big fall there. Jai Cully, the former West Coast Eagle. Big fall. He's down. If we just roofed the whole of Tasmania, then all their status would be suitable. Now, this is the kind of thinking we need in AFL House. Clayton says he can't switch, and I respect it. I've got a theory when it comes to switching footy teams. And that is the only time you are allowed to switch is if a new team comes to the city that you are from or that you've lived in for a long time. So, Clayton, you would be permitted to switch to Tassie under my set of rules. The only other scenario where you are allowed to switch is that you are allowed one switch when you are under the age of 18 years old. That's it. Because you're a kid, you're still forming your own understanding of what footy is. You are allowed one switch as a child. That is it. And I stand by that. The AFL doesn't want to get wet, even though Victoria gets winter for 6 hours a day. I have been to Tassie before, and it was in May, early May, so not winter, but getting there, bloody cold. Bloody cold. So I do get it. And I think that night game they had, was it a couple months back? Was it Hawks Adelaide? And it was just a stinker of a game. That's a bloody good goal. Ned Long, he's kicked a terrific sausage from the boundary line there, and it's 8 points of difference. The Pies are a chance. Boy, oh boy, wowee. Who have the Roos got? I don't know. Adelaide, I think. They're going to get smashed. Yeah, Josh has said it. Roos play Crows. Crockbait, but the interstate membership is cheaper than living in Melbourne for MCC membership, but if I were to pay full entrance fee, then I can become a full member. I don't really understand the logistics of that, but I'm just going to assume that it costs a fair bit of money. So But well done for getting your membership. That's awesome. A bit of chat about Paul Curtis here. So I reckon I could start Paul Curtis, and if he stinks it up, you can blame me. Jeez, that's going to make me feel better if I do lose my matchup. Austin with some more supreme thinking. We should take Tassie and push it to a higher latitude for better weather. Yeah, here we go. You're an ideas man, Austin. By the way, do you guys have a Discord server? If not, will you? Would be a great place for the community to chat about everything from quiz ideas to fantasy. Is this something that you guys would like? I don't know enough about Discord and what happens on there. But if it's something that the community wants, well, then we'll do it. I don't have a problem with that. Because I will say, we love the YouTube comments. We love the comments section and the banter that we get in there. But look, if there's a better way for you guys to communicate about footy, if there's a better way for us to do it, we're happy to look into it. I just don't know enough about it. So if you want to tell me about it, you can give us a chat. I had my one switch as a kid, and I've seen less success in the last 20 years than a St Kilda fan. Well, just remind me who you go for. I think you're an Essendon fan. Is that right, Josh? Clayton says, I switched to the Eagles from the Blues as an 11-year-old to piss off my old man. I can't switch to Tassie. Yeah, I respect it. Discord will be solid. Tigball says would be awesome. Crockbait says, hell yeah, to a Discord server. Leave it with us. There's a miss there. Is that Rivers, I think? 9 points the margin, 10 minutes to go. Jeez. As we like to say, when Collingwood loses, Australia wins. But here's McCreery running into the half-forward flank. Does he go for goal? He looks short. Jamie Elliott. Oh, boy. This is heating up. Joshy is a Bombers fan. I had that on the money. Discord is pretty good for small communities. Would have to put in a tiny bit of effort to set up a mod team. It is somewhat intuitive. Okay. What sort of stuff would you guys want to be chatting about there? You said quiz topics. Is it a little bit like he's kicked it? Jamie Elliott's kicked it. 4 points of difference, 10 minutes to go. We're back. This is a matchup. Controversial question for me. Who's a star player that I don't rate? Oh, that's a difficult question because there's so many players. Leave that with me. Maybe give me some prompts about clubs. Yeah. I will say from this game right here, I think Darcy Moore is overhyped as a player. I don't think he's that great of a one-on-one defender. And I also don't think he's a good intercept player, but I don't think that he's in the caliber of some of the other intercepting defenders that there are in the competition. So I think I don't know if you'd class Darcy Moore as a star, but I don't think he is, to be honest. Dad was from a Crom fan, and so I supported Port as a cheeky kid. That's very cheeky. If you're going for the direct rival of the old man's team, geez, that's stiff. Crockbait, I've been an admin for Discord servers before. Yeah, a bit of love for the Discord. I'll have to see what we can do. Good amount of people in the chat at the moment as well. It's been pretty consistent all night, given the fact that we're not even really doing anything. We're just sitting here watching the footy. Marissa says merit for Essendon. Yeah, I think that's hard to say that, Marissa. I'll be honest, and I'll throw myself under the bus. I think probably 2 or 3 years ago, I would have been on board with that, Marissa, and that merit didn't really have the hurt factor. But I think in leading the team the way he has in the last 3 years, he's really stamped himself as an elite player of the comp. So, but I respect you being ambitious. That's what we want to see. Controversial calls. Lockie Schultz getting more stats for my fantasy team, which you love to see. Ball knocked into the forward pocket, going out of bounds. Dangerous setup here for the Pies. That is a woolly man in the crowd there for the Pies as well. That's the sort of man you like to see in an old-school Collingwood uniform. I feel like we could get a bit of commentary going on here. If the people want it, I'll give it to them. Moore's had a bad season. The premiership year, he was fantastic. I think he was All-Australian that year. But he's had a bad couple of years, though. Pie sniffing around. Ned Long going on hands and knees. Ball kicked out. Pendle's hands off. Lockie Schultz for my fantasy team. Right foot snap. It's an absolute shit kick. That's disappointing. But more stats for Schultz I'm happy with. Some of the Crows defenders have been amazing. Hinge, etc. Hinge has been so up and down. I've had him in my AFL fantasy team in my draft comp. I can't start him. I dropped him the other week because he's so inconsistent. It's hard for me to pick him. Side bottom intercepts. Centering ball. Schultz is marked! This would put the Pies in front, and this would guarantee that I'm starting Lockie Schultz because I've got him on the bench as an emergency in my AFL fantasy comp. Hooly dooly. What else we got here? Riley, the Sandford King and West Torrens Eagles fan, hello. Hello to you. Good to see you joining the stream. Just get the chat moving along. You're right, Marissa. Lockie Schultz has nailed it. Lockie Schultz has nailed it. I'm definitely starting him now. Pies in front by 1 point. This is a ball game, folks. Put the C on Lockie. Tig Ball says he's going to jump off. Good to see you. Enjoy your evening. Also, with Discord can be easier for the Creator Classic, just as an FYI. In what sense, Crockbait, do you mean? How would it be easier? Curtis has been sent to the dirtus. Yes, he has. What's his score now? Someone tell me, so that way I'm not spending a minute just sort of sitting looking at my phone, trying to figure out what he's on. I know they paid a lot of money for Lockie Schultz, but I think he's going to pay dividends. He's pressure, work rate, that's what you want in small forwards, and he does hit the scoreboard. Clayton says he was enjoying the Pies' panic. It's not all over, by the way. Rivers gets away from the trip. He somehow gets a handball away. Clayton Oliver with the footy. Nice handball. Salem looking inside 50. Cozzy's there! He wants him to go back on the mark. He wants as much distance as he can because he can't get the distance. He sends Quainer back to 45 metres out. He points at the spot. He says, right there, that's where I want it. Oh, boy. 5 tackles for Schultz. He's on 81. I'm definitely keeping that. Jared Waitley saying that he's kicked 40 goals. That is an All-Australian calibre year for Cozzy Pickett. And he has missed to the near side. Scores a level. This is the game you want to be watching right here. Aside from the fact it's half-time in the other fixture. Question from Marissa. Who wins the Freo Bulldogs game? That is a good question. That is a genuine 50-50. Long ball. Free kick. Lockie Schultz has been kicked in the nuts and he's gone down, and that's bad for my fantasy team. Lipinski puts it out in front. Jamie Elliott gets the handball on. It's back inside 50. Bro McCreary couldn't take it. Handball away from Langford. Oh, it's a turnover to Goey. Almost a full 360. McCreary with the outside check side ball. No. Cozzy Pickett is going to be a good pick in future goal kick leaders in the future. I'm not sure what you're trying to say there, Cyric, but he's a bloody good player. That Dogs game is going to be very, very interesting. So once this is done and dusted, I reckon we've got a couple of little trivia games we're going to play. Andy Munro suggested we get on the Gridley. We'll give Gridley a go. We've got a stat categories as well. Ball going inside 50. That is a good mark. Dan McStay, too tall, too strong. Jake Bowie couldn't get a fist on it. And this would make it tough. Clayton says you sounded like a race caller. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Wouldn't mind being a commentator. Wouldn't mind it. Don't know if it will happen, but we'll go with it. Do you lose fantasy points for a hard ball lost? Dan McStake kicks it. Pies up by 7 with 5 minutes to go. Is that the game? Hard to say. Josh with the kiss of death on the Ds. They've gone 1 goal 4 since he said they were kicking accurately. You ever do the Friday footy quiz? I have not. And this seems like a great thing for us to do on stream. Could be a good way to just show that I've got no ball knowledge at all. But hopefully I can prove myself. I do see this here, the Friday footy quiz. We'll do this together once the game finishes. How about that? If that's of interest to you guys. Easy to remember now, hard to remember in the Creator Classic number 10. Cozzy Pickett kicking 40 plus. There's going to be a big finish to this game. Petrarca surely being held. He was held. He's going to get the ball, but Collingwood have a chance to get back. Bombs it inside 50. Gawn's there. Was he pushed? No decision. Dacos stripped of it. Hands off. Chandler. Clayton. Don't argue. He's gone. Great tackle from Pendles. Read last, he says. Like one voice channel for multiple people to join. And for them to use your webcam, no license to pay. Wow, we'll have to check it out. If it's an easier way to record, well, then we'll probably give it a go. So we use Zoom at the moment for our Creator Classic, which is fine. But the way that we get the visuals from the recording, it's not the best visual quality, which I'm sure you guys have probably noticed that. But yeah, happy to give Discord a bit of a look. Corey Blackledge, good to see you on the stream, mate. He's wanting the Collingwood to lose, but they're in a good spot at the moment as they kick the ball inside 50. Stephen May, though, outmarking Jamie Elliott. Dangerous kick. It's come off, though. The only thing more common than the D's choking in the fourth quarter is the Blues choking in the second half. Blues have not had a good season. Has to be said. I thought that they were going to be right up there. So did the Eagles, by the way. That's why they took the Hawthorn first round pick instead of Carlton's. Melbourne keeping it forward. Chandler just with a wild handball. More handballs. Handball of chains. Oh, that's a big hit. That is a huge hit. Was that Darcy Cameron? Bang! Look at that. Good contest. Corey says he loved Michael's quiz yesterday. It'll be hard to beat. Well, he's into the semis. The caliber of quizzes is very high in this tournament. It has to be said. We've been very impressed. The Port game has started. They've just kicked a quick one. Interesting game that we'll swap straight over to after this. The ruck tap's gone down. Petrarca, boot to ball. Missing, but it could be a handy point. 6 points the difference. 3.5 minutes to go. Marissa saying any chance of the Eagles winning against the Swans? Well, there's always a chance, Marissa. The thing is, they've only won one game this year. If you're looking for a roughie in your tipping and you're desperate, I would tip them. But only because neither team really has anything to play for. That's all you're really tipping them for. Maxi, jeez. He didn't know what he was doing. Out on the full. The draw is on, says Joshy. Cyrix saying keep an eye out for the Blues youngsters, Ashton Moyer. We'll keep an eye out for him. Maxi with the out in the full. That's a good mark from Jamie Elliott. Trent Rivers got to be better than that. And the Pies are slow playing it. Did he play on? Did he play on? Maynard at halfback. Pies currently sitting in the top 4. Currently in third place on the live ladder. A draw would make this interesting, but they still have a much better percentage than Brisbane, who also have a draw. Side bottom, shake and bake, looking inside 50, long ball, there's no one there. Mycheck trying to get back. Langford will be first. Does he see it out of bounds? He does not. The rookie kicking long to a 2-on-1. That is a rookie error, but Petrarca does well to get it out of bounds. And the ball in. Francis Evans, what a month he had. I tell you what, I got a sad story about Francis Evans. So, as I've said, a couple of AFL Fantasy Grand Finals this weekend. I brought in Francis Evans as a smoky to sit on my bench and just screen him last night. And last minute I said, nah, I'm going to do something different, and I dropped him. I actually think I dropped him for Dylan Shield, and they scored the same amount. But I probably could have done with Francis Evans as a forward more than I needed the defender. But Francis Evans, an unreal month. Oh, almost a big mark. Langdon, snap. He's missed. It's out on the full. It's out on the full. They probably could have done with a point more than the out on the full there. Jeez. Cyrek saying he doesn't miss Frankie from Port because we have too many players. He has evolved a bit. He definitely has. But you're right, Port do have a lot of small forwards. A couple of vanilla small forwards as well. That's a good mark. Do Melbourne have one more in them? Long to the hot spot. Who's there? Cozzy at ground level. Ball up. Out on the full is better there. Cramps on the pocket. Yeah, but if they got a point, then there'd be 5 points down and they'd get a chance to go in front with a goal. The 7-point play. Ball up. Gawn gets it down. Cozzy Pickett wanted a high tackle. He didn't get it. He played for it, but he didn't get it. Nice there. That's Tomlinson wrapping up Mycheck. It's going to be a ball up. Cozzy with his pants down. Pull them up, big fella. You got a goal in you here. Clayton says he's tipping Cowan as Doherty 2.0. Interesting. Another ball in. There's 1 minute to go. Can Melbourne cause a real stir here? A draw does change things dramatically. A draw would be a big impact on the 8. Tap down. Clayton couldn't get boot to ball. To go, he shovels it out. Dacos to Josh Dacos. Scrubbing ball. This is going to be insufficient intent. Melbourne will get a chance to launch it back inside 50 here. The boundary umpire looking rampant. The field umpire saying it is deliberate. Tomlinson. Long ball. No one there. Terrible kick. Well done to make it a contest. Cozzy putting it inside 50. Chaos ball. Is there holding anywhere? No, there's not. Maynard gets it. He's going to get it out. Darcy Cameron puts it on the boot. Launches it. They've got the numbers there. And it's a mark, and that's game. Crisper with a great mark. And that should see the Pies potentially making top 4 if results go their way. In fact, I think it probably will see them in the top 4. Gold Coast would have to win both. No, I think it won't. But it's a good win for the Pies. It's a win they needed. And Collingwood getting it done. Geez, I sound flat after that, don't I? It's a good win, and I think, to be honest, leading into finals, you just wanted to see the Pies hit a bit of form because they've got the chance to do some damage. As a neutral watching finals, I just want to see 9 really good games of footy. And so you want all the teams going into it. You want them fit, you want them healthy, you want them ready to go. So the Pies needed this one. The Pies get it done, winning it by 6 points. That is a hell of a result. And a much better game than I was anticipating for a Friday night footy. How's everybody feeling in the chat? I reckon most people have bailed out to go and watch the footy themselves. which is fine. I wonder if I can get the footy actually playing through here. I'm not sure. Might be a little bit. Let me know if you actually like that or not. Do you want to hear the commentary of the game or not? Because we're watching the Port Adelaide game now. Where are we? If the Hawks win and Gold Coast win, Pies will finish 5th. Well, there you go. I think if Brisbane win as well, they'll still finish 5th because one of them will have to overtake the Pies. So really, it's just about if Gold Coast win both games. And at the moment, they're on track to beat Port Adelaide. Pies leading this one 52-39. Good game of footy, though. All right, for those still in the chat, does anyone want to see any trivia? Does anyone want to see any footy games? Let me know, because we've got a few options. Someone suggested the Friday footy quiz earlier, which we can give that a go. Someone suggested that we do Gridley, which we can certainly give that a go. And I've got a game of stat categories, which one of our viewers has actually submitted from a while back. We haven't used it. So I actually don't know what the answers are. So we definitely have the chance to do that if you guys are keen. So let us know in the chat what you're thinking, because ultimately I'm leaving this one up to you guys. I tell you what, I shouldn't have gone so big on the commentary there. My voice is struggling a bit after that. Georgiades having a quiet night. I don't even know what the answers are. That's a great start. Georgiades has kicked a ripper. Well, I mean, you don't want me to know what the answers are because... Well, I'll show you. How about this? How about this? Where are we? This is what we're talking about. Look at the transition here, by the way. I can use OBS beautifully. So this is what we're talking about. This is a quiz we call stat categories. I've got a few different versions of this, a few different quiz topics, but this is one that one of our viewers has submitted. Now, for those that don't know how stat categories works, here's the concept. You've got 16 names on the grid right there. 16 names on the grid. There are 4 sets of 4. So there are 4 unique things that link 4 players on this grid. 4 sets of 4. Our job is to figure out what the 4 sets of 4 are. So, for example, and I haven't actually thought about this at all, but if we said that Matthew Primus, Sean Dempster, Tony Liberatore, and Rowan Smith are all linked by a common theme, then we would lock that in. And if they were correct, well, then they're a set. And then we've got to figure out what the other 3 sets are. People in the chat saying, yes, do the quizzes. That's a bizarre grid, says Josh. Yarra Buffs. I'm your biggest fan. Good to see you, mate. Thanks for joining in the chat. You love that. All right, well, let's have a look at this quiz then while we're watching the footy. So I hope everybody understands the concept here. We're looking for common themes among the players. Now, first things that I see, I can see a few Brownlow medalists. Patrick Cripps, and I think we'll actually go with this. Patrick Cripps is a Brownlow medalist. Tony Liberatore is a Brownlow medalist. Ben Cousins is a Brownlow medalist. And Shane Woden is a Brownlow medalist. That is a set of 4. Let's go lock it in. Brownlow medalists coached by Mick Malthouse. That's very interesting. Patrick Cripps, of course, coached by Malthouse at Carlton. Cousins at the Eagles. Woden was coached by Malthouse while he was at Collingwood. And Tony Liberatore was coached by Malthouse in his first coaching stint at Footscray. Very good. I don't know. I don't know whether you want me to read the chat or not. I don't know whether you want you want me to get some answers or some clues from the chat here. But let's have a look. We've got a couple of Eagles players on the board. We've got a couple of Giants players on the board. David Swallow was a number 1 pick. I think he's the only one there. Peter Bell started at Freo, moved to North, back to Freo. We could have inaugural players at a club. Matthew Primus was an inaugural player at Port Adelaide. Peter Bell, an inaugural player at Fremantle. David Swallow, an inaugural player at the Gold Coast Suns. And Toby Green, an inaugural player at the Giants. I'm going to go with that. Let's see how we go. Played in club inaugural game, then became club captain. I mean, I will pay it. I didn't get the captain part, but I like that. Now, we're left with some very interesting names. Where is the link here? I mean, Dempster and Schneider, you've got that Sydney St Kilda link. Dane Zorko, interesting name. Still 7 points of difference here in the Port Adelaide Gold Coast name. This is interesting. I don't have a good read on this one. I don't have a good read at all. I think here's what I'm going to go. Here's what I'm going to go, folks. I'm going with Wellingham, Heath Shaw, Adam Schneider, Sean Dempster. And my reasoning here is I know they all played at multiple clubs. Did they play 100 games at multiple clubs? I don't think Sharad Wellingham played 100 games at multiple clubs, but they definitely all played 50 games at multiple clubs. Actually, I think it could be that they played in a grand final at multiple clubs. That's what I'm going with. Oh. I mean, I'll take it. They shared a flag with Darren Jolly, and they played grand finals with 2 clubs. Well, I got the 2 clubs grand final part, so I'll take that. Now the question here is what actually links these 4 players? And I tell you what, I've got no idea. I've got absolutely no idea. I mean, based on what we've seen from some of these other clues, could it be that they're linked to another player? But all of these players, except for Fev, are one club player. It's interesting. It really is. See, part of me thought the goal kicking angle, maybe leading goal kickers at a venue. Like I could see. I know Lacroix is the leading goal kicker at Marvel. Fev surely might have kicked the most amount of goals in a game at a stadium. Zorko, you could maybe see it at a rogue venue, but Rowan Smith, I don't know. So I'm just going to go with that and see what happens. Leading goal kickers in a game at a venue. All Australian in a wooden spoon year. That is a great topic. And I did know that about Lacroix. Fev won his Coleman in a wooden spoon year, so that makes sense. So that's stat categories right there. There we go. I'm just reading back the comments now. Brownlow, so Scotty had that one. Crockbait. Trying to work out Dempster and Schneider. Premiership players. Yeah, it was a good category, that. That's a very good category. Someone saying that could be a Statchat video. It could be. I have a few of these prepared. And if you guys like it enough, well, I might chuck one on. If you guys want to give it a go, watching on the stream, you can. More importantly, if you want to give it a go yourself, I can just send you the link. I can put it in the chat. Let me know if that's something you want to do. Ollie Lord. Haven't seen enough of Port Adelaide and Ollie Lord to have a good read on him, but I hear good raps about him from Port Adelaide fans. Can he put this one home? He looks good. Looks very good. He's nailed it. Port Adelaide with win 1 point. We had a couple of good games here. So let me know if you want to see some more stat categories, because I've got a couple more. I do have a couple more. Scotty says, yes, do some more. Lord was good in his early season. Would love a link, please, but go ahead, do your thing, says Clayton. Yeah, look, let's do it. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be like that. I'm going to be desperate. We're at 8 likes on this video. When we make it 10, I'll post a link in the chat, and we will do a stat categories quiz. How about that? I think we can make that happen. I've got 3 here ready to go. And I've forgotten what the categories are myself, but I don't have a problem with that. Okay. We've got 11 likes. The people have spoken. Stat categories number 1. Here we go. Dropping it in the chat. And you know what we're going to do? I've dropped it in the chat. You guys can play along at home. For those that want to play along in the chat, here it is right here. The first good suggestion I see in the comments will be the guest that I do for you guys. So for those that are just joining us, this is stat categories. We've got 4 sets of 4. And these AFL players have a unique thing that links them. So there's 4 unique categories that link 4 players on this grid, 4 sets of 4. Your job, find the 4 sets of 4. How many times have I said 4 sets of 4 in the last 40 seconds? No idea. Someone will count that. I think the chat has gone quiet because the viewers are going and doing the stat categories by themselves. Which, if you are, fantastic. Love to see it. Also, shout out to the viewer that did submit that stat categories to us. Nathan was his name. That was a good one. It was niche. It was very niche. But I appreciate it. And if any of you actually want to submit one, this website's great. If you see right up the top here, it says create. You can literally create your own quiz on this website and then just send us a link. We'll do it. Not a problem. Crockbait saying 1 is team captains. Cyrix said, sorry wasn't listening, something about doing things 3 by 5. Yeah, righto. Razzing me up. I love it. Austin says, Steele, Corns, Treloar, Mumford, all multiple club players who played for GWS. That's the first good guess I've seen. That's what we're going to do. Steele, Corns, Treloar, and Mumford. Played for GWS. Simple as that. So Austin nailing it. Not Stephen Hawkins says making a couple of these sounds fun. It is a good bit of fun. It's pretty easy to do as well. You could literally knock one of these up in 5 minutes max. Not saying I'm begging you guys for content, but if you do one, just send it through. Scotty saying, I saw the J-Pod on a football show a few weeks back. Only thing I remember is he played like 8 years after he got drafted. Couldn't tell you how that helps, but there you go. That's a unique fact. I think he was drafted for Collingwood originally, never played a game, then mature age recruit for the Cats. Won a flag as a mature age recruit with the Cats and then later played for the Crows. Port Adelaide have drawn level. Liddy, the man with the basketball sleeve on the pin, on the leg, has missed. And geez, this would be a boil over if the Suns don't win this. Scotty still stumped in the chat. Age or years on debut after the draft? I don't know. Podsiadley is such a niche player. He is. He's a great name. No guesses so far. A flying toilet says, I don't know enough about footy. I'll let the experts figure it out. Well, there's not too many of you in the chat, so it might fall down to you to make a guess, mate. Port Adelaide with the ball contested in the midfield. Gold Coast turning it over. Is that Fiorini? Left foot slipper. Kicks it. Butters. Good intercept. Rebounds. Can he find a target? He goes towards a 2-on-1. It doesn't matter because that's a bloody good mark. Who is that? I don't watch enough Port Adelaide. Handball out. Left foot ball. Port have numbers inside 50. Handball off, son. He does so. Good hip and shoulder. Willie tackled. Ball up. Once Liddy fixes his leg, it is all over for the league. It's a good call. Mature age debutant, says Clayton. I don't mind that. Which players do you want? Marissa says Jay was with Essendon. Was it Essendon, not Collingwood? My apologies if that's the case. J-Pod, McGovern, Ed Curnow are mature age debutants. James with Essendon, then Collingwood. Oh, was he with you two? He was with two clubs. Well, there you go. That's good ball knowledge from Marissa. Cyrix saying Menegola. So do we have a set? J-Pod, McGovern, Curnow, Menegola. I'm seeing enough validation in the chat. So Curnow, McGovern, J-Pod, Menegola. Locking in. One away. One away was that one. Josh Williams saying rookie draft picks. Mark Hutchings, J-Pod, McGovern, Ed Curnow. Do you want me to go with that? Looks like a good guess. McGovern, Hutchings, J-Pod, Ed Curnow. So taking off Menegola. Locking that in. Still one away. So it looks like we've got areas here, guys. Looks like we're in the right area. Still scores a level. 2 minutes away from three-quarter time. Marissa's saying Newcomb mid-season draft, which he is. I don't see any other mid-season draft. Josh Williams saying McGovern, Ed Curnow, J-Pod in the same group. Ed and Menegola both debuted on their second club, says Austin. That is a good fact. Connor Rosé with a good mark. Any score will put Port Adelaide in front here. A goal will make things very interesting. Cyrix says, if that is true, Hutchins is wrong. Why do you say that, Cyrix? Connor Rosé kicks the goal. Port Adelaide in front. I need a big game out of Connor Rosé because I've got him in my AFL fantasy team as well. And Zach Butters. Austin, I have absolutely no idea about Mark Hutchings, if I'm being honest. Could Jai Newcomb instead of Hutchings for rookie draft? Does Ken get chaired off tonight? That's a good question, Corey. I definitely think there's guard of honour for Ken, but I don't know if they're cheering him off. And I'm really interested as to what the Port fans are going to do for Ken, because he's been such a divisive figure for that fan base. Sorry if I'm being confused. I'm distracted by Port. It is a close finish. This would be massive for Gold Coast if they don't win this game. They've got a potential top 4 spot on the line here. A loss here would mean they're probably more likely to get a home final and an elimination final, assuming they beat Essendon on Wednesday. Does Ratkins get chaired off? That is the question. Does Rory Atkins get a polite wave off? I don't think the Rat's getting anything. Oh, Aaliyah's dropped a sitter. Was there a high tackle there? Nothing doing. They should show some respect to Kenny, but Port fans are feral, so who knows? We will see what happens. They could give him the jet plane on the way off. So we've had a couple of guesses here at a category. No one quite getting there yet. But you were one away with Menegola, McGovern, Curnow and J-Pod, and you're one away with McGovern, Curnow, J-Pod, Hutchings. So there's some common themes in there. And I will say, I do now remember what the theme is, having put it together. And I will say that someone in the chat was pretty much on the money, but didn't lock in that that's what they wanted. But I have seen it spoken about in the chat as to what this theme actually is. Clayton having to think about it. 50-metre penalty for what? I'm not sure. Marissa says played second club. Jordan Sweet. It's been a decent pickup for Port. Didn't really get a run at it last year, but this year had the Visentini experiment sort of midway through the year, but he's definitely stamped himself as the number one. Does Joe Richards have this in his bag? That's the question. The Flying Toilet says, can we pair Cripps with some people? Brownlow votes, All Australian selections, BNF, etc. You can do whatever you like. If I see a good guess in the comments of 4 people, I'll lock it in. Corey says, there's only one fit player for Essendon left, it seems, who hasn't debuted. They only have 24 fit players. Oh, that's an absolute mung of a barrel from Joe Richards. Corey, what does that say about the one player for Essendon that hasn't debuted? Everybody else on their list has got a crack because they've been that desperate. If you're that one guy that hasn't got a game, that's a real slap in the face. Austin says, Cripps, McGovern, Newcomb, LDU, 2024 BNF. That sounds like a sound guess to me. Let's lock it in. McGovern, Newcomb, Cripps, and LDU 2024 best and fairest winners. Austin knows his ball. Austin's probably been watching the Creator Classic. Season 2, Episode 2, 2024 best and fairest winners. 8 names left. There's 2 sets of 4. And we touched and we danced around one. We've had a couple of cracks at a theme, and you were one away twice. So I'd suggest you probably want to revisit that. Marissa says, Ed, Menegola, Hutch, and J-Pod. Second club stars, delisted without playing a game for their first club. There you go. Worked our way through it beautifully, guys. So what is the link here? We know it's the answer. Austin says all Indigenous. I'll say it's a little bit more specific than that. I'm going to give it maybe a minute, and then we'll see what the answer is. This is fantastic for my AFL fantasy team, by the way. I've got Connor Rosé. I've got Zach Butters as vice captain. Butters on 115. Rosé 124. Jeez, this is just beautiful to watch. Tig Ball says won a medal. Josh says last 4 Indigenous All-Stars. I think that's probably about where we need to be. Polly Farmer medal winners. Indigenous All-Stars MVP. I reckon you guys collectively got that. That is Stat Categories number 1. Good team effort from the chat. Let me know if you enjoyed that. And if you did and you want to see another one, if we get this video to 15 likes, which is not a big ask, I just need another 2 of you, then we'll drop another one for you. How about that? It's a good game of footy, this one. It's going to have massive repercussions on finals, particularly if the Suns don't get it done. Dennis, first time we've seen you in the chat. Good to see you. I see the umpires came to Collingwood's aid again in the last few minutes. AFL can't contemplate a final series without the crowd draw of Collingwood. Little tinfoil hat energy there from Dennis, but I don't mind it. Cyrix saying he was a negative value to guessing, but he'll claim it. Clayton enjoying the quiz. Good stuff to the chat. Well done. We're at 15 likes. Looks like we need to get our second stat categories on board. Interested to see, let us know in the comments if you went and played that yourself. So we did drop the link to it in the comments. And if you're interested, I'll drop the link to this one as well before we get started with it. Gold Coast a win. Did they come back? You'd think they'd have to. It's going to be tight. Clayton saying he ran out of chances with the last stat categories. Not Stephen Hawking, saying he tried and he failed. I'm going to post this one here. Let's see how you guys go with it. Stat categories number 2. Travis Boak's final quarter of footy. Surely they don't sub him out here. There's no way. 3-time All-Australian, 2-time best and fairest winner, 6 years as the skipper. Kenny give him in a cuddle. I mean, Boak's getting chaired off, but do they chair off Kenny at the same time? All right, we've got another stat categories here. We've got 4 sets of 4. Let us know in the chat. The first good guess that I see, I will lock it in. And so you'd better be good, because the collective chat is competing here. Good final quarter coming up. Cyrix saying there is a JJ group. And lots of people getting around it. Josh Jenkins, Jason Johannesson, Jason Johnson, Jermaine Jones. The easy one of one on this board. Double J. Can't put anything past the chat. They're a bunch of savvy trivia operators. I can see the delay in the chat now because it took probably a good 45 seconds for it to come through, and it all come through at once. Somebody going with played for Port, says Marissa. Don't mind it. Who are we talking about? Rosie playing for a mark and playing for a free. He's got a free now, which I'm happy with this because he's in my fantasy team and he could be going 150 plus. And this is exactly what I need. Statchat BT. He's jumped on board, the big fella. How are we, mate? Hope you're having a good night. Big Byron, who else on the list, had 47,292 big bumps. We've got Corey has said Harley, Dixon, Pittard, and Big Bad Byron. Tom Harley, Byron, Pittard, Dixon represented Port Adelaide. 2 from 2. Not Stephen Hawkins saying going well BT, but could use your areas at the moment. Tig Ball saying big ups to BT. The chat getting around the great man. He's done the chores. He's done what he needed to do. He's online. And can we tempt him with some trivia? That is the question. Marissa, I'm not quite sure what you've said there. Daniel Nayland. First time we've seen you in the chat. Good to see you. Mark of the year. I like it. Have we got the names? If Heaney got a classic AFL forward pocket All-Australian nom, could have Heaney, Ryan, Bolton, someone else. Daniel Nayland doubling down. Bolton, Ryan, Heaney, Himmelberg. Shake the man's hand. Mark of the year winners. Which means we've got 4 names left, which means we're going to get a perfect game. But I want to see if the chat gets the theme that links these 4 players. I will say this quiz, I think, a bit easier than the first one that we had on earlier. But still a good performance from the chat. Bringing it down. Jack Moffat, runner-up in the Brownlow. He's a savvy operator. Not Stephen Hawking saying handball operators, but the runner-up in the Brownlow is exactly what we needed. Making short work of this, the Statchat chat. You love to see it. Josh Williams saying he's got another connections. Have you created this one, Josh? If you have, send it to our Instagram. Send us the link, and we will do it right now. And that goes for anybody. If you've created a stat categories, then send us the link on Instagram, and we'll do it tonight. Why not? Josh is saying he's will do. We love to see it. Port's still in front by 6. Is Gold Coast going to shit the bed? I hope not. I just want to see this. I just want to see the Suns do well. Statchat BT, kids are now asleep. Beer time it is. Get amongst it, mate. You've had a big week. You deserve it. Crockbait, maybe now might be a good time to pitch BT about the Discord server. BT, we've had some very good comments. The chat wants to see a Discord server. We might have some work to do. But apparently it could be good for recording the Creator Classic, so we'll look into it. So, no free kick. 8 free kicks to 2 to Port Adelaide in the second half. Suns won't be happy with that. I'm just going to see if this link has come through from old Joshy here. And if it has, And then we might have to put on another one. Looks like most of the people in the chat played along with this stat categories. Interestingly, I can see the statistics. So have a look at this. 20 people have played it. 19% getting a perfect game, including us. Let's have a look at this link sent through from Josh. We might have another stat categories to do. I see it. I see it, but I don't believe it. Okay. Here we go. Now, Josh, we don't need to see the answers. We'll just have a crack at it, mate. I'll ask the chat before I start. Do you want me to just do this myself? Do you want to contribute? How do you want this to go? Because what I'll also do is if you want to do it yourself, I'll put the link in the chat. But let me know if you guys want to participate with me or if you want me to just try and do this on my own. Jack Moffat, I had Parker without Dangerfield into Bulldogs Premiership multi in 2016 for a mammoth payout. Oh! Ben King with a sausage. Scores level. Clado saying go for it on your own. He's saying don't worry about the chat. This could be a tough board. We've got some Saints love. Now we've got some unique names, and I don't know exactly all the connections here, but I'm pretty sure there's an umpiring theme here. Now I don't think it's Jordan Ballister. I actually think it's Jordan Bannister. I think he's had a typo there. David Roden. Brent Wallace. I have no idea who Brent Wallace is. But I'm assuming that means that he's an umpire. And I have a feeling that Lee Fisher is the other umpire on this board. That's what I'm going to go with. AFL players become umpires. Right. That is one down. There is a lot of Saints on this board. There's a lot of Saints. Now, I kind of have an inkling here. My first thought, just looking at all the Saints, and there's a bit of Pies action too. My first thought was 2010 Grand Final, and I have done a little bit of research on this topic. I thought it might be Norm Smith votes in the 2010 Grand Final, which I know for a fact Hayes, Goddard, Thomas all have votes in the drawn Grand Final. I don't think that... Oh, did Pendles get him in both? I don't think he did. Austin saying Mitchell, Pendlebury, Hayes, Norms. Sam Mitchell doesn't have a norm. Buckley does. And Hurd does. So there is 4 Norm Smiths on this board. The question is, do we think that Joshy's gone there? Statchat saying Ball, Rewalt, Cozzy and Goddard top 2 picks, which is correct. Which is absolutely correct. Do we go there? I don't see any other pick 2s on the board. There's 2 2s. Oh, sorry. BT has missed one here because Luke Ball's a pick number 2. Daisy Thomas is a pick number 2. Justin Kazitsky is a pick number 2. But that's it. Yeah, that's it. There's no others. There's a good one. Some captains in grand finals, it looks like. Hurd, Buckley. Sam Mitchell. Nick Rewalt. We could have... There's some coaches on this board. Hurd, Buckley, Mitchell. But I don't see another. There's just so much Saints and Collingwood on this board. Pendlebury captain in a grand final. Yes, that is correct. Well, it's a good kick. Oh. Georgiades with the goal. Thanks for letting me know, Josh, because I've been distracted here. I think I'm going to go with the suggestion about AFL Grand Final captains. But then the question is, well, Nick Rewald, I think, was a captain as well. So, yeah. To be honest, I actually like my Norm Smith in 2010 one better, but I don't know who else got votes in 2010 in the draw. It could genuinely be Rewalt, because I don't think Pendle's got votes in the draw. He obviously won the one in the grand final. Goddard, never a senior coach. I think I'm going to go with Rewalt and just throw it out there. No. First miss. Someone said coach, or someone said, oh, this is a good one here actually from Statchat BT. Our man knows his ball. Bucks, Lockett, Mitchell, Hurd, tied Brownlow winners. That is elite. Of course, BT comes in clutch even when he's not here. The G Sizzle. Good to see you on the chat. Winning captains. I think that one's going to be ruled out now. Corey saying he's sending us a grid as well. We've got a lot of names left, and they're all this St Kilda Collingwood crossover. Which, if we're just going down the line, right? Collingwood. One away. This is very interesting. I don't think it can be a club theme here, but I also think that Josh was expecting us to finish with these 8 and make it very interesting. Bit of an injury here in the Port game. This is, he doesn't look good. Is this Lord? I don't know if they've used their sub either, but he doesn't look like he's coming back. Josh says, I was indeed. Very cruel. BT saying, Pendle's side bottom Thomas Hayes, 2010 Norm Smith votes. Well, Dale Thomas, yes. Pendle's won in the draw, in the win. Goddard definitely got votes, and Lenny Hayes definitely got votes. Is that what we're going with here? You've said side bottom. I don't think side bottom got votes. Have I entered this as a guess already? I don't know. I'm one away. I'm one away with one guess left. What about the other guys? I think BT said top 2 in the Brown, top 2 top 2 draft picks earlier, but there's 5 of them there. What about just number of games? 400 plus, 300 plus, or 350. 300 plus, 300 plus. The problem is, if we're one away here, well then really we're only subbing one of them out. BT saying for the Saints. St Kilda top 5 draft picks. 1, 2, 3, 4. It would work because we'd only be subbing out 1. Let's do it. So that's what we're going with. Top 5 picks for the Saints. Well, here we go. BT called it early, which means is the link here, is it still to do with Norm Smith medal votes in 2010? I think it's got to be something to do with it, even though I do know that Goddard had votes in the drawn grand final. Top 4 Norm Smith pollers in the year 2010. Well, there you go. Well, there you go. I'm assuming that's across both grand finals. Joshy will let us know. But that's a good stat categories, I tell you what. He's put us to the test on that one. And I think we've only got there from BT in the chat. So I think it's across from both games. Across both games. Yep. Good work. Georgiades with another big mark. This would put Port Adelaide 2 goals up. And would be an all-time shitting of the bed here for the Suns. And I tell you what, the AFL would love this. Because it will actually mean that next Wednesday's game means something. Clayton's happy with that. Corey says he's almost done. BT carrying the team. I didn't expect it to be such a difficult one. Then you mentioned all the other possibilities. All right, as Georgiades goes to kick a goal, I'm going to take a short break and grab some water because I've been talking for, I think, about 2 hours straight. Georgiades kicks the goal. Give me like 2 minutes. We'll get Corey's quiz on. We'll be back straight into it, mate. Didn't take me long. Didn't take me long at all. But like I said, quick break, back into it. Good game of footy. BT holding it down in the chat. What do you like to see? What are your favourite types of quizzes that we do? Because I'll be honest, I've been cooking up some new stuff. I'm very excited to share it as well. But I think we will have some unique stuff coming off the back of the Creator Classic. Corey saying he sent the link through. We'll check that out. Josh saying he likes the classic grids. Ex-players too. Well, here's the question. Do you like it more when it's just a BT hitting an over-under, or do you prefer going for head-to-heads? That's probably the other question we'd ask. We really enjoy getting the guests on as well. Josh, you might want to make sure BT becomes a chat moderator. Well, that's probably a fair thing to do, isn't it? BT officially our first ever moderator in the chat. Good stuff. This game of footy is getting bloody good. The debutant outside 50. Launching it to the top of the square. Who's there? Was it a push? It was not a push. Pressure here. Aaliyah just bombing it out. Back in. They're going to get it out here. Jeez, could be an absolute boil over here. We've got the next quiz ready to go. Jack saying, got to get Spud back in the hot seat. Comedy gold. Yes. We're looking forward to it. Gold Coast kicking a snag. Oh boy. It is 1 goal the difference, 6 minutes to go. We've had 2 rippers tonight. 2 absolutely fantastic games of footy. And another fantastic stat categories. Thanks to Corey for sending this one through. I'll drop the link in the chat if you guys want to have a crack at it as well. Austin saying he's got a couple of ideas, going to make a quiz of his own. Do it. Do it. Clayton saying he has Butters and Rowell in Supercoach. I have Rosie and Butters in my draft AFL fantasy team. Butters on 135 is my VC. I'm going to be taking that. Rosie 142. Oh, wow. Geez, this could set up my weekend for success. This is an interesting grid right here. There's a couple of names that I have never seen. Gary Wilson. Jesus. Right. We've got a lot of multi-club players on this board. A lot of multi-club players. This is a niche grid. Russell Green. Russell Green came up in a quiz that we did a little while back because he was the Lee Matthews AFLPA MVP winner in 1983? 84? So that's where I've seen that. Heath Scotland, 100 clubs, 100 games for 2 clubs. Dom Tyson, a 3-club player. Aidan Bonner, Giants and North. A lot of North love. Charlie West is a name I'm not quite familiar with. Jesse White, Swans and Pies. Lockie Hanson as well. Jordan Murdoch played for the Gold Coast and for the Suns. Jeez, this is a rogue board. I like this from BT. I really like that from BT. Clark, Stanley, Murdoch, and Dorr grand final sprint winners. I think that's on the money. Clark, Stanley. That is like Stanley did win one. Jeez, that's a good pull from BT. That's a bloody good pull. As Ben Long misses a shot, a tough shot it has to be said, but it's 5 points of difference. North Melbourne Wooden Spooners. I mean, that could be it, but why wouldn't Perez be there as well? Oh, nearly turned it over. Liddy, the man with the leg sleeve on his pin. Kicking it up to the wing. I'm going to be watching a bit of footy here because this is going to be a tight finish. Mac Andrew. Nice. Flanders. Look, Mac Andrew. He's going to have a shot here. BT is the GOAT. We know it. Tom Lonergan, obviously the notable thing about him is he lost the kidney in an on-field incident. Came back. The thing is, what are we doing with Charlie West, Gary Wilson, Russell Green? I mean, where do they fit in here? Mac Andrew pushing it across the face. 4 points of difference. Poor kick, really. Yeah, I agree, Clayton. Would be handy if Channel 7 broadcast the sprint. I'm going to be honest, I'm really stumped with this board here. This is tough from Corey. Part of me's thinking we're talking like top 5 pick areas. Dom Tyson, Lockie Hansen come to mind. But I don't think anybody else really. I think Aidan Bonner was a somewhat high pick. Number 13. Number 13. As in number 13 on the back. It's not a bad thought. Jumper numbers. Jumper numbers is an area we don't really cover here on the channel at all. BT saying the North players, and there is a lot of North players on this board. Because Hansen's a North player as well. Tyson, Taylor, Bonner, Perez, Hansen, all playing for North. Two wooden spoons. North Melbourne delistings. Fake Brownlows. There's one of those on the board. Zach Butters with the ball. Racking up more touches for my AFL fantasy team. Two wooden spoons, I think, is not a bad crack. 2020 North players. I mean, it could be there. How has he got that? How has he got that? That's a good spin. The blind spin inside 50. Is there a mark? It's a push out. Oh, he needed the hands. He needed the hands. Oh. That's a great tackle from DBJ. It's not over yet for Port Adelaide, but that was a chance. I'm a little bit distracted here, so I apologise. But BT goes bang. Took with a fumble, but he gets the handball off. Ball going inside 50. Butters like a man possessed, going up for that ball. He wants to win it for Kenny. Port Adelaide with a hack kick out. John Noble should have marked it, took his eyes off the ball. Willie with slick hands. Joe Richards with a mung of a kick across face. Gold Coast will get there first. Is that Holman? Is he holding the ball? He is holding the ball. This could be all over. Oh, the Port fans are up and about. They're doing it for Kenny. They're going to try and soak a bit of time, but I think there's too much time left. Jeez, it's a hot footy. You can't be giving up those cheap kicks either. 4 points the difference. Look at that stat. Free kicks for holding the ball. 12 Port Adelaide. 1 for the Suns. Georgiades with a great mark. He can't have a shot from there, but he's going to get an inside 50 and hope for a deep stoppage. Kicking it to the hill end with the Boak jumper up on the scoreboard. Tackle. It's not a ball up. Port Adelaide, they need to man up here. They need to move. Gold Coast is moving. They're going to get a clearance. 2 bounces. Look at the run and carry. Oh, is that Dan Rioli? It's Lockie Weller. Mongrel Port inside. Mongrel Torp. Off hands. Dodgers one. There's a shot here. That's a hit. That is a hell of a hit. And that is going to be game. Port Adelaide doing it for Ken. Wow. What a finish. Boakey getting a win. Kenny getting a win. Port Adelaide happy. Gold Coast shitting the bed. What a win. What a finish. What a hit that was at the end. Who was that? Because the Suns would have had a shot there. And the Gold Coast Suns miss an opportunity to finish top 4. Wow. It's all going to come down to Wednesday night. The AFL have got what they wanted. It will come down to Wednesday night to see if the Suns make the 8. What a result. Kenny's happy with that. Some monster performances in this game as well. Let's quickly check the stats, as we do here on Statchat. Partly because I want to check my AFL fantasy scores, because I have Butters and Rosie. BT saying a 5-day break as well. That is true. Essendon coming off a 6-day break. Surely not. Lockie Jones was the bumper. Yes, that was rock solid. Port winning it by 4. Zach Butters, 152 AFL fantasy points, and he's my vice captain. Holy shit. Connor Rosie, 142, and I've got him as well. What a day. 35 and 34 touches for each of them. Trying to get it done for Boakey. Boakey in his last game, 22 disposals. 9 tackles. What a game of football. Geez, Taz will be up and about that one. Chat popping off a little bit about this game. What a finish it was. Georgiades had a good game. Well, he had a good finish. Josh Williams getting up and about. Austin saying he's done us another stat categories and he sent us a quiz on Instagram. We still have this one to finish though. What is going on with this board? I reckon we might have a bit of a Collingwood theme here. Jesse White, Heath Scotland. I feel like Charlie West has a Collingwood connotation to it. I think I want to go with Collingwood. I want to go Jesse White, Heath Scotland, Charlie West, Gary Wilson. One away. One away. Interesting. Josh saying Charlie West is Collingwood. I think it is Collingwood, which means that the only other answer there is Russell Green. But I don't know much about Russell Green other than the fact that he played for Hawthorn. Did he play for Collingwood as well? There's a bit of a delay with the chat. And they're just seeing it now, so maybe they'll give me a little bit of help and tell me about Russell Green. I don't know, but I do think it's a Collingwood theme here. Marissa saying St Kilda. West and Scotland both wore 29. Okay. Did Lockie Hansen wear 29? And did Tom Lonergan wear 29? I don't think Tom Lonergan did. Let's see if they cheer off Kenny. You know they're cheering off Travis Boak, one of the all-time legends of the club. Marissa thinking that Russell Green wore number 29. Do we have a 29 theme here? This is good areas from Corey. This is a tough quiz. BT saying he thinks Green did as well. So could we have this action? That last one was one away, wasn't it? Did Jesse White wear 29? I think he might have. Oh, we're saying Charlie West wore 29. So is it a bit of this action here? Russell Green did wear 29, says Josh Williams. I think this could be our areas here. And part of me thinks that the other one could be players that missed a full season. Lonergan would have missed a full season with the kidney. Joe Watson, obviously, with the supplement saga. Pretty sure Lockie Hansen would have done at least one serious injury over the journey. Josh Williams saying that Gary Wilson did. Okay, I'm going to trust Josh here. I'm going to say Gary Wilson. So we're saying players with the number 29. Players to wear 29. The chat's worked beautifully here. And I think this last one is going to be players that missed a full season of footy. That's what I think. Which is not an overly, it's not that uncommon of a category, I would have thought. But I think that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to give it probably a good 30 seconds to let the stream catch up. See if you guys have any thoughts on that. But I'm thinking it's that these players missed a full season of footy. 2017 retirees, says Statchat BT. Is that what you reckon, BT? 2017 retirees. Could be it. Did Watson come back after the supplement saga for 1 year? Because that timeline would work out. Boakey doing a full lap. I don't think anyone has left. I don't see a whole lot of empty seats in that stand. Unlike the 2010 TARP era when all you could see was empty seats in the stand. But good to see the Port fans standing, applauding. An icon of the club. You would have to say he is clearly top 3 Port Adelaide players of all time. I mean, you could make a case for him as number 1. He's on the Mount Rushmore. Do you have Treadray ahead of him? Premiership captain? You could. I mean, the longevity of Boakey definitely there, but the thing with Treadray is you just associate him with victory. So, Jesse White was part of the Tippett trade attempt and he was part of the 19-man issue that cost Sydney $50,000. Jeez, that's rogue. All right, we're locking this in. BT. Build the man a statue. Boy, oh boy. He's just too good. He's just too good. They're getting ready to cheer him off. Who's going to be the one to do it? Ollie Wines obviously not getting to play, but you would have thought he'd be one of the ones that would be doing it. Who's he giving a cuddle there to? There's Ollie. And there is Ollie giving him the cheer off. Ollie and Sam Powell Pepper. Boaked cheer off Ken. Austin saying that I associate Treadray more with his shenanigans, which is fair enough. Look at that. Look at that hug. Ken and Boak. It's a great moment for them. Corey saying that he made a good grid, and you did make a good grid, mate. Tough. board. Tough board. But you've done well. BT coming up trumps to get us over the line once again. The man is just an absolute machine. BT, I don't know if we've spoken a little bit about this, obviously, but I don't know if you've seen the comments and the chat. People wanting to see BT take on the winner of Season 2 of the Crowder Classic when we do get to announce the winner when we have the grand final in a few weeks. People want to see it. We might just have to give it to them. BT, let's be honest. We're just a bunch of footy nuffies, mate. We are a bunch of absolute footy nuffies. And I think that's why you guys like watching. We're going through. We've got more links. We've got more games that are coming through here. Austin has sent through a stat categories. So has Cyric as well. We'll play them both, mate. We'll play them both. Don't worry about that. Port Adelaide about to sing the song. For those wanting to play along with the stat categories, let's get this to... I don't know if there's enough people in the chat to get us to 25 likes, but let's try it. 25 likes and I'll drop the link for the next stat categories. We're sitting on 19, so we're not too far away. Clayton saying, surely you have to retire undefeated, BT. No challenges ever. I mean, we can make it. It's like a boxing fight that doesn't count towards the record. If that's really what you want, it's an unofficial bout. Because without spoiling it, I think most people in the chat have seen Season 1 of the Crowder Classic, and of course our man BT, undefeated, and did not miss a guess throughout the entire tournament. And his trophy is sitting behind us right here. Season 1 trophy of the Crowder Classic. But yeah, the calls have been growing, and I think they'll continue to grow as we get closer and closer to the grand final of the Crowder Classic. That people want to see BT take on the winner of Season 2. And it would be epic. Austin saying BT sleeps with the lights on. Let's put the pressure on the great man. Alex says, is there any way that you can make sure the Crowder Classic contestants aren't cheating? Look, it's a great question. Obviously, it's not difficult to work out with the way that we do it. We can't confirm that they don't have another screen open that they're typing the answers, aside from the fact that we're looking at them the entire time. I think the main thing really is that the people that come on and take part in the tournament, they're doing it because they want to do it, and they're doing it because they love the concept and they love the challenge. And so at the end of the day, sure, they're competitive and they want to win, but they all want to do it the right way. So we've never had an issue with thinking that anyone was cheating, and to be honest, we don't think we'll ever will, because the people that want to do it are doing it because they enjoy the content, they enjoy the game, they enjoy the action of it, and so it's never been a thing we've had to worry about. Yeah, Crocbait says we probably won't get to 25 likes. We've got to 22, so I think that's good enough. Here we go. Here's the link. Marissa saying, does my link work? Have we seen it? Have we seen your link yet? I've only got links from Austin and Cyric so far, and I've just posted the link to Austin's quiz in the chat. Let's have a look at it. This is an interesting board. It looks like it's mostly newer current players for the most part on this board. Cyrix saying he likes the trust, faith in quizzing and loving good content. I mean, that's all it is. That's all it is. And I think the other thing that me and BT probably take pride in most is that the contestants that come on, they have a good time doing it. Everybody that we talk to that takes part in the challenge, they enjoy it doing it. They have a good time doing it. And I think that's what makes it worthwhile for us. Guff, first time we've seen you commenting. Good to see you, mate. The umpiring in that Suns game was disgraceful. Yeah, the free kick count at the back end was rough. He says he's loving the content and he gets excited when he sees new videos. So good to see. BT saying he's off for the night. Good to have you jump on, mate. We'll speak soon. Rest up. But we're going to struggle, I think, without the great man here. I'm going to have to do it solo. I'm going to have the chat to help me out. Let's look at this board. We've got an interesting grid. We've got... I don't know what the best way to approach it is. Usually I'll look at clubs a little bit. We've got a little bit of Eagles theme there. We've got a number one pick in Andy McGrath. We've got Tom Lynch, but the question is which Tom Lynch? We have reached, I can see 24 likes on my end. Michael saying we've reached 25. G'day to you. There's a bit of Essendon love on this board. There's a bit of Carlton love on this board. Could we see some top 5 picks? Rewalt, McGrath, Gaff. We've got a couple of Giants on the board as well. It's an interesting grid, this one. Very interesting. Crockbait saying 2 retired players from this year. Cal Ward and the Doc. I don't think anybody else has retired this year. Devon Robertson's an interesting one. I think I've got this. At least I've got a couple. Devon Robertson missed out on a flag. So did Andrew Gaff. So did Alex Rance. Am I thinking about this the right way? I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure. Because I'm not sure of another one that would meet that. I mean, you could just be looking at ACLs. Maybe it's ACL to end the career, which would be Callan Ward and Alex Rance. But I don't see anyone else. Do we have some All-Australian captains on this board? I do see a couple. I think Nick Rewalton's an All-Australian captain. I like this as a guess. Cyrix saying Green, Sard, Warner, Rance are real words with an extra letter in them, which is very rogue. Michael correctly pointing out Rance played in the 27 flag. He did his knee in 2018, wasn't it? I think it was round 1 2018 is when he did the flag, but of course Richmond didn't make the grand final there. I'm liking this one here, to be honest. All-Australian captains. And nah, not even close. Where else have we got on this board? There's a couple of Essendon players. There's 3, actually, that I can see. Where else are we going? Austin's definitely made this tough. Cripps was never All-Australian captain. Was he not, Austin? Well, there you go. There we go. This is not probably making very good content at the moment. Long suspensions is a good one, but who else would there be aside from Andrew Gaff? Michael's saying 2019. Well, that kind of lines up a little bit with missing a flag, because then Rant did miss and Andrew Gaff did miss. And I think Robertson only missed because he was just out of the team, to be honest. Because he played... Did he play in the 23 grand final where they lost or not? I can't remember, but I just know that he didn't really play a whole lot last year. But there's no one else. There's no one else really on this board that I think would have missed a grand final. I don't know if I'm allowed to ask this, Austin, but which Tom Lynch are we talking about here? Are we talking about the one for Gold Coast and Richmond, or are we talking about the one for Adelaide and Saints? Yeah, Powell obviously would have got the suspension for the homophobic slur, wouldn't he? And Tom Lynch got the suspension this year. Did Heath Shaw get a suspension for... I think part of the Rat Pack, maybe? Yeah, Toby Green, actually. That's a good call. I think we're talking suspensions there. 5+ week suspension. That's good work from the chat. Good way to work their way through the board there. What else is Devon Robertson known for other than getting his shirt ripped off in a game? I mean, he's very much just a fringe player at the Lions at the moment. So of the players that are left on this board, you've got Rewalt and Rance are obviously no longer in the league. Everybody else, and Heath Shaw's not in the league. Right. But that's it. I mean, Ward retiring this year, Doherty retiring this year. Did Dev win the Rising Star? He didn't. He didn't win it. 24 viewers in the chat at the moment as well. Good to see you all. I think we've had a couple extra jump on after the footy. We're just doing a bit of trivia. And we're just chatting as well. So if you've got anything that you want to bring up, any footy issues at the moment, if you want to talk Creator Classic, if you want to talk trivia topics, video topics, just drop it in below. Michael Keating, a certified ball knower. Dev played the 2023 grand final and only played 2 games in 2024. Interesting. Similar theme to Alex Rance in a premiership year for the Tigers. I might just be going rogue with that, to be honest. My mind be going somewhere else. WA born, well, you've got Robertson, Rance, Warner, Darling, Cripps. So there's 5 on the board. Players becoming commentators. As in like the special comments. I don't think that's probably going to be it. Frisk! I did not get a notification for this. Well, here we are, Frisk. We're still here, mate. BT's already been and gone. The light's not off. This is a tough board. I know I'm just sitting here just speculating about it. I'm not really locking anything in, so I apologise if that's what you're here to see. But I am enjoying just chatting it over with the chat here. So very interesting. don't think there's a best and fairest element here. Obviously, the guys that had a good season last year, you've got Cripps, Merritt, Warner, and really no one else. Frisk, been and gone, elite drive-through coffee name. It is actually. J. Tomo jumping on. We're getting people jumping on the chat. JT, how are we, mate? How you feeling after the Pies result? You've got to be up and about. Austin says, happy to give you a hint if you're stuck. At least one of these is diabolical. Yeah, right. There's a fair bit about this board which is diabolical. So we've already had a guess at all Australian captains, which was incorrect. I think we might have some multiple club action on this board. Of the names that are left, and obviously Tom Lynch is already off the board, so that kind of makes it hard. But Heath Shaw played 100 for 2 clubs. Adam Sard, I reckon, I don't know if he played 100 for 2 clubs, but he's certainly played a fair bit. Sam Docherty wouldn't have played enough games for Brisbane, but he's a 2-club player. Callum Ward wouldn't have played enough for the Dogs, but again, another 2-club player. Frisk saying the Suns got robbed. I think they did, but they'll be back on Wednesday night. Multiple grand finals. Riewoldt, Shaw, Rance, Ward, multiple grand finals. Darling played in 2 grand finals as well. But it's a good guess. Darling will play 100 for the Roos and play in their next premiership. Gee whiz, Cyric. He's been on the sauce tonight, clearly. Is there a multiple club element to this? I'm not sure. Is there a relative? Yeah. Yeah, I think there is. But it's tough, right? So you've got Chad Warner, Corey Warner, Zach Merritt. Is his brother Jackson? Heath Shaw, Reece Shaw. But now here you've got cousins. Patrick Cripps has a cousin. Nick Riewoldt has a cousin. Where's the brothers? Jay Tomo saying hopefully he can make the trip to Adelaide in a couple of weeks. Are the Pies confirmed to be finishing 4th? Are they confirmed top 4 now? Frisk saying don't tell the missus. Jackson, who was drafted first. Zach had Jackson Merritt. He did. See, part of me likes that angle, but you can't do anything with Paddy Cripps and you can't do anything with Nick Riewoldt. Chief Pred, yeah, we're live, mate. We're just chatting. We're just sitting here chatting. No real intent. So if you've got any questions you want to ask, just ask. But we're just sitting here doing a couple of different stat categories, and this one submitted by Austin is a doozy. Pies locked in top 4. Thanks, Jack. Very informative. I'm kind of ruminating over a bit of a relations angle here, a bit of a relatives angle, but I'm not there yet. This is tough. Not sure what to do with this one. I just thought there was legs in the relative angle, but yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to go. Geez, the viewers are going up here. Viewers are definitely going up. Isn't there 4 number 1 picks? I don't think so. Rewalt, yes. McGrath, yes. That's it. Nick Rewalt and Heath Shaw, we know what combination that makes. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. There's something in looking at draft picks, but one of them is a little left field. Yeah, okay. Oh, actually, I think I know. I think I know where he's going with that. Actually, I think that's a really good hint. I think it's players that wore the jumper number that matches their draft pick. I like this from Zaz. Did he say that Adam Sard played with his brother as well? Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Oh, one away. One away. There is something in that, but I reckon there's something in the played wearing the number they were drafted at. And I think Andrew McGrath, I think Jack Darling as well. I think Alex Rance. I think the last one might be Callan Ward. Oh. No. This one's going to get me, I think. Austin's come up with an absolute doozy here, and he's got my mind in a blender. Crockbait saying, is it the year of the draft picks? Same year in draft. What year would it be, though? That's really the question. Are we saying it's the Patrick Cripps year? Because that's 2013. He might be the same year as Zach Merritt. Austin saying, it's crazy how many links you draw. Probably not true. Darling was drafted number 26. I was close. Cripps pick 13, 2013. We've done a quiz on that, by the way. And Nick Rewalt pick 1, 2001. We have done a quiz on this. But I don't think anyone else on this board matches that. I really don't. Pick 26s, Darling and Merritt. They are both pick 26s. That's a good call. Chad Warner was a late-ish pick. Adam Sard was a rookie pick, but was he pick 26 in the rookie draft? Heath Shaw was a father-son pick in the 30s or 40s. Could be Dev Robertson, you know. Could be Dev Robertson that was pick 26. Cal Ward, I think, was a bit high. Chad Warner, 39. Yep, fair enough. Sard was 25. Okay. Or was Sard just traded for pick 25? He was traded for a first-round pick when he went from Essendon to the Blues, but was it less than that? Think that we might just have to lock something in here, guys. What's the consensus of the chat? Maybe something to do with their positions. Well, there's a lot of inside mids. 4 drafts in the same year, rookie or mid-season draft. Yeah, but I'm not sure where you would go with that. Could be Sard, Merritt, Cripps, and... But that would be 2013. And I think the doc I think the doc could be 2013 as well. Let's go with this. I know this is probably going to be our last guess. I'm going to go with this as the last guess. Clayton, that's a good one as well. I think we went that. Warner, Merritt, Shaw and Sard. That wasn't it, but it was one away. But interestingly, the way I'm looking at this, it can't be that, because if it was one away, Warner, Merritt, Sard and Shaw, well then what I've proposed right now can't be it. You think the Sards were cousins? Yeah. Well, you've got Rewalt as a cousin, Cripps as a cousin. Where's the other cousin? This is tough, and I think Austin's going to have us absolutely done dirty on this one. A few extra people jumping on the call as well, jumping on the chat. If you're tuning in, we're just sitting here chatting. A couple of good games of footy, doing a bit of trivia. Austin from our chat has submitted an absolute ripper of a stat categories, and he's got our brain in an absolute blender. We're thinking there might be a relative angle. We're thinking there's a draft angle. But this is a tough quiz. Michael's saying, agree with Josh Martin. Played for one Vic, one non-Victorian. There wasn't a third sneaky Shaw. No, there was 3 Cloaks, but I think it was 3 Shaws. Austin giving a good hint, because I think he doesn't want it to end early. He said Warner, Shaw and Sard are the 3 collect ones. Jeez. But it's not family related. It's very interesting. Guff saying we need the great BT back. Yeah, look, we do. I reckon he'd still be stumped as well. Warner, Shaw, Sard are the 3 correct ones from the one that we guessed. It's not family related. It's not as if they played for multiple clubs. Is there a player that they played with? Hard to say. Hard to say. Might have to throw in the towel with this one, because this is absolutely tough. I'm going to go with what Michael said. He said Darling, Doherty, Shaw and Ward. It's not correct. Let's reveal these answers. Let's see how we go. Priority draft picks, led the leagues in bounces for a season, and captained Will Setterfield. Jeez. That is rogue. That is very rogue. That's a good quiz, Austin. The priority draft picks I like. I did know that Darling was a priority. Rewalt obviously picked number 1, but the other 2 I probably wouldn't have picked that off the bounce. Speaking of bounces, yes. And Totally Zoo did call it. And the Will Setterfield one is absolutely dirty. He's really dirty. But probably could have picked up that there were some captains there, I think. But that is tough. Oh boy. Are we enjoying this? Do we want to see another one? Do we want to see a different topic or a different category? I know we've got one more quiz here. I think it was from, I forget who it was, sorry, but we'll reveal it in a second. But after this, we've got a bit of Gridley. We've got a bit of Friday footy quiz. It's Cyric, sorry. Apologies, Cyric. We've probably got a couple other different games we can play before we sign off. For those in the chat wanting to play along as well, I will drop the link in the chat if you want to give it a go. That was a bloody good quiz from Austin. Shout out to you. Cyric saying this one is very silly and easy-ish and bad. Well, let's get into it and see how we go, hey? Pritis, Dermy, Max Gawn, Chance Bateman, Tex, Sam Collins, Aaron Norton, Oleg Markov, Noah Anderson, Jesse Crichton, sheesh, Mabior Chol, Liam Jones, Robert Dipiadomenico, Charlie Dixon, Nick Natnui, Luke Dalhouse. Clayton, thanks for jumping on, mate. Appreciate you commenting on the videos and enjoy going through the back catalogue. This is a difficult quiz from Cyric. A couple of Eagles, a couple of old Hawks, which is an interesting one. Very old Hawks. Chief Pred saying Collins, Markov, Jones and Scholl all delisted and picked up by another club. Yeah, I do like that. Jesse Crichton, is he another contender for that as well? Scholl and Markov. Crockbait going to head off too. Let's make this the last one and sign off. BT's back from the dead. Bateman, Nick Dalhouse, Chol, Dreadlocks. Before I lock this in, I like that one from BT even better. Nick Nat, Dalhouse, Bateman, and where's my other one? Chol. Dreadlock operators. Derek Patterson, good day to you, mate. He says big stashes. And I like that. Dipper. Texan. Markov. Who else is rocking a stash? Who else is rocking a good stash on this board? Noah Anderson's got a pretty average stash, actually. We're going there. Mustachio operator. Not many more left on the board here. Part of me liked the idea of a headband operator with Aaron Norton, if that was the theme. But I don't see too many other headbands. Does Liam Jones rock a headband? Curly hair. Beards. Yeah, Gawn, Dixon, beard. Sam Collins got a good beard. And who else has got the beard? Gawn, Collins, Dixon, Jones, bald and beard, I reckon. Bald and beard operators, which means Pritters, Brereton, Norton, and Jesse Crichton is going to be the long locks operators, curly hair operators. Shake the chat's hand. Good work all round. That is a quiz. Done and dusted. Perfect game. Chat, get around yourselves. You love to see it. Whew. Are we done and dusted here? Few people dropping off. I reckon we're going to do a Gridley for the night and then we're going to call it a day. How about that? Let's see how good we can get this one, chat. We're doing today's Gridley. What's our target? What's our target here? I think we're going to try and lock in a over-under. And this is the chat working together, by the way. This is the chat working together. I think the over-under for the Gridley today is going to be 16.5. 16.5 is the over-under here. Let's see how we go. And that is a tight line because I want to go real niche here. Real niche. So we're going to need some sub 1%ers. We can't afford to go big. Boak teammate, grand final player, Billy Frampton, which I love that, by the way, but I always think that's a little bit too... That's a little bit too good. Unbranded, end the stream, please. We're doing Gridley and then we're done. So you'll be happy about that. A Port Adelaide All-Australian. I want to go someone real rogue. Best and fairest in 2010, Steph Martin. I like that. Let's lock that in. That's a good answer there from Jack Moffat. It's a legendary answer. That's good work. That's what we need. The line is 16.5. A Port Adelaide All-Australian. We could have someone like Darcy Byrne-Jones. Michael going with it as well. But I think that might be a little bit too known. I think it's definitely niche. Cyric, I got a few Port niche players. Nick Lower, Cameron Hitchcock, Mac Thomas. I think Cameron Hitchcock is the name I want to go with there. Point 2, solid. I've got one here. I've got a West Coast Eagles player that I have to always get a West Coast Eagles player in here. We're going Lewis Stevenson is a 0.1 answer. The line is looking solid. Yeah, we're still live, but not for much longer. Brent Montgomery for Port and the All-Australian. I like that. And that is a 2%er as well. The line is looking strong here. Where's our total? We don't have our running total on here, but that's okay. A best and fairest for Port Adelaide is tough to get niche. Tough to get niche, so we'll come back there. A best and fairest grand final player. I think I've got to get someone rogue here for the West Coast Eagles. Boak grand final player, Brad Sykes. What are we doing? A 1%er from Michael. All-Australian, played in the 2010s. Luke McFarlane. Good, but I reckon that's still quite well known. I'm happy to hold it there, Chief Pred. No, let's do it. Let's do it, actually. Luke McFarlane is a 0.2%er of an answer. This is shaping up beautifully. Pinks across the board. We've got a grand final All-Australian. We've got a grand final best and fairest. And then we need a Port Adelaide player that's won a best and fairest. They can have played, or they can have won their best and fairest elsewhere, which I think that's our best guess for a rogue answer. But All-Australian grand final player, I want to go with one of my favourites here. Chad Fletcher, 0.3. This is shaping up well. We need a grand final best and fairest. Cyric, if my steak was cooked to this board, I would be very happy. Stephen Paxman for Port B&F. I don't know for a fact that he won it, but I'm backing you in here, Joshy. Nick Smith, All-Australian grand final player. We've already locked that one in. Riley, sorry, mate. Missed the boat. I know the stream is a little bit delayed, so I'm just going to sit and wait a little bit to catch up. But Joshy's pretty happy with Steve Paxman here, so let's go with it. Steve Paxman. It's a 3%er, which I think is pretty good for this board. A grand final player best and fairest. Now, the line was 16.5, and I've set it way too high. Because at the moment, we're sitting at, let's see here, 6. Look, we'd be probably around 7%, maybe 8%. Let's try and get sub 10% here. We want sub double digits. Tom Rockcliffe. Does Tom Rockcliffe count? No, that would have been the Port best and fairest answer. A best and fairest and a grand final player. There's going to be a lot of options on this board. I'm just trying to think about how niche we can go here. Jaden Short for best and fairest grand final player. I'd love to go somewhere from a non-Victorian team because they will poll less than some of these other clubs, if that's all right. I could see someone like an Ashley McIntosh. G Sizzle with the Gov. I reckon the Gov's not going to be niche enough, G. I think it could be Ashley McIntosh here. Is Jack Moffat saying Ryan Crowley? Did Ryan Crowley win a BNF? Because if he did, I think we go with it. Frisk saying Darren Jarman. I reckon it's too obvious of a name. Mark Bays, says Chief Pred. That's the most niche name I've seen so far. We've got Chad Fletcher already, but he didn't win a BNF. Mark Bays. Mark Bays, and we've gone with a unique answer. Who was that? Chief Pred. Shake the man's hand. Where does that put us on the leaderboard, by the way? Oh, I have to sign in, do I? Well, put it this way. That would put us top 20 for the day amongst members and would put us top 25 amongst non-members. Good work, chat. Thanks for joining us tonight. Just sitting here, just chatting. Might do it a little bit more often, see how we go, but we're just sitting here watching some footy, and I said I'm just going to jump on with you guys, watch a couple of good games, do a bit of trivia, and we've had a bloody good time doing it. If you've enjoyed this, give the stream a like. Let us know that you're enjoying it. Let us know that you're enjoying the Creator Classic and the content we're putting out. If you've got ideas for videos or trivia topics that we can do, drop them in the comments below. Send us an Instagram message. Get in touch with us because we'll keep doing plenty more of it. All right, guys. Appreciate it. We'll see you in the next one. Big week of Creator Classic coming out this coming week. 2 more fantastic quarterfinals. I reckon you guys will love it. We'll see you then. Cheers.